Fight!
Fight! We're
Oh
nerds.
yes,
We're
guys.
such nerds.
Oh
We're
man,
such nerds.
I can't wait for this to come back with a season 2 because my god, that movie was great.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going there, YouTube? My name is the Dark Reviewer. Welcome back to our top 10 videos, and here is actually the big season 2 premiere of our top 10 anime lists making a return. But instead of doing the whole like trope of what people do, like, oh, let's do top 10 openings again, let's do top 10 protagonists, let's do top 10 this. How about something that not a lot of people really talk about when they mention a lot of anime? In a sense, a lot of our stuff revolves around shonen and some stuff like that. We're going to give you some of the best, whether it be in a shonen or something else that could really catch your eye. These are the top 10 fights in all of anime. Oh boy, this one, I know I say like this was a difficult list for a lot of it, but this one to me was the hardest one to do.
It was pretty challenging for me a bit, but I was able to figure out which.
Agreed.
I was able to figure out like maybe like 4 out of them. But yeah, how this order is going to go today. Who knows, we might actually get 2 of our other members that you haven't seen in a while. We're going to go to what we got, but either way, here is how the list is going to go. Starting us off with the number ones today is going to be me, actually. I'll go ahead and start us off on the season 2 premiere.
Okay.
And the silver medal today is actually going to go down to EDA today. He's going to be the silver.
Hey.
The sad thing is, this is the highest level of achievement I've ever had in my life.
Aw.
And then the third place copper medal goes to Mr. Trey Alexander. He's going to
No,
be
it's
third.
bronze.
Bronze, of course. Copper is actually going to be Nate today.
Ooh.
Oh.
And to close off our fights is actually Kevin, my friend.
Yay, I'm the best.
At
for
least
last.
until possibly somebody else joins.
Until then, but as of right now, he
We'll
is
see
the
what happens.
best fight for the last. Because all fights end in certain rounds. So
This is a
going
10-round matchup. That's what this is.
At least, yeah, and some like bracket
lives.
style. So going off, getting started with number 10s today is we've talked about anime that's pretty flawed and cliche, but we know was a pretty popular shonen, Fairy Tail.
Oh, really?
But which one though? With one that actually moved me to tears with the next episode following after that. It is Natsu versus Mard Greer.
What?
Oh my! Wait, that's number
What?
10?
Weird?
Yeah. As number 10.
Damn, I was expecting it much higher.
You fucker.
I know. I'm pained with myself, but all the other ones I grew up with more. And but do not get me wrong. This fight between those two is emotional, physically abusive. Both of them are fighting for one certain goal. With Natsu, it's basically to help his father with his father
Logia.
fighting against Logia. But also it's Mard Greer using the Book of E&D to learn more about what we're going to see. And oh man, a lot of the shots, especially some of the shots with Natsu fighting Mard Greer with Igni in the background, how the art style mimics the two of them. Both of them using the Iron Dragon fire punch, and you see that art style is just so gorgeous.
They really upped the animation ever since then.
Hugely, the animation looks so much better. And Fairy Tail is, yes, as we've mentioned a lot of times tonight, it is cliched, it's flawed in many more ways than one. But a lot of the fights involving Natsu when it involves with him personally, it's hard to see and it's very emotional to witness. But Mard Greer just set that over the top with a lot of those fights. I did love the fight with Natsu and Gajiel. That was a good fight. The Fairy Tail fight against Hades was also a good one. But this one just takes the cake as one of my favorite fights to see in Fairy Tail. Plus the death of Igneal after that. Oh man, that hurt.
We're only at number 10. Are you trying to rip our hearts out this early?
I know, man. Well, it did to me all the way back when. So, Natsu versus Mard Greer from Fairy Tail is the round 10 of my top 10s.
Fucking.
Oh my god! Wow.
Gotta give him a round of applause. Gotta give him a fucking round of applause. God
Oh my
damn
god,
it.
Nicholas, are you able to cheer us up?
Uh,
Oh, fuck.
hell if I know. But this is my most grounded fight on this entire list. As in, there's no crazy powers, there's no giant robots. It's just two people fighting. You ever heard the adage, never bring a gun to a knife to a gunfight?
What?
What happens when it's a katana?
Wait.
Wait a
What?
minute.
Hang on.
Number 10 is Revi versus Kinji.
Remy versus Genji.
You know, somehow I'm not even surprised that he put Black Lagoon, but wow.
Damn. that-
Like, wow, this low, huh?
Like I said, it is the most grounded, so it potentially could happen in real life. So it's not very anime to me. But then again, that's the feel of the entire Black Clover world. It's just dirt, grime, and really fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Oh, what gave that away?
Yeah. I'm okay. First of all, it starts with them just circling each other, each looking for the right moment to strike, and then freaking Seagull cause Genji charges sword first, and he cuts a bullet in half. That again, no power, just pure human instinct. That's impressive, even if it is fictional. And it's brutal as all hell. Each trying to outwit the other, trying to find that kill shot. And the big thing for this fight in this show is it's the first and only time we ever see the Cutlass get destroyed.
Oh.
That should tell you how serious this fight is.
It's rare for Cutlass to get destroyed in most fights. It's usually intact.
It's never. This is the only time. It's sliced to fucking ribbons. And that final shot, when Genji charges straight down with a sword, Revi smiles. There's a gunshot. The screen just goes black. You don't know who won until it comes back, and it's a bullet to the head. Falls over. The katana is in her knee. She was that close to dying. Yeah, this is one of the most hyped fights in all of the show. Mainly because it's actually a fight. Most of the times it's just a shootout.
True.
So, that's my number 10.
Damn.
Nice. I
We
didn't
are
think-
coming out strong.
Wow.
What do you got for your number 10 for what was your starting fight there, Trey?
Opening matchup, what is it?
My number 10 is Sasuke Uchiha versus Killer Bee from Naruto Shippuden.
What?
What?
I take it from your reaction, I'm supposed to be surprised.
Now, I know this isn't the most famous fight, and most people will probably chose Naruto versus Sasuke, the final fight they had, or probably Rock Lee versus Gaara. But I feel like this is a good fight that perfectly introduces a new important character.
Oh yeah.
Killer Bee.
Wait,
Like-
who? What?
Sasuke versus Killer Bee.
Killer Bee. Oh, damn! Damn! Continue, please.
Now, one thing that's we know up to that point is that Sasuke has been facing stronger and stronger opponents ever since he was introduced in Shippuden. He completely dominated Naruto's team when he was first introduced. He actually forced Deidara into a suicide and actually managed to perform pretty competently against Itachi, even if Itachi was sick at the time. So we were expecting Sasuke to perform well, reasonably on par with all those different appearances, like probably beat Killer B or fight on this level. No, he's straight up overpowered from the very start in terms of hand-to-hand combat, strength, speed, even their own, even lightning jutsu, which is Sasuke's specialty at that point, Killer B completely overpowers him. And even when Sasuke's team comes in to help him, again, Killer B just thrashes them like they're nothing. And
Killer B, why not?
It pretty much takes all they have to keep Sasuke alive and just escape especially after Killer B pretty much stabs him in all 7 of his swords and almost steals Sugetsu's sword, or Zabuza's sword, the Executioner's blade. And after that point, you pretty much see the full power of the Jinchuriki that has mastered their full powers. At that point, and we get a glimpse of what probably Naruto will be capable of in the future, and we start to understand why the Akatsuki are after all these people, because they are literally weapons of mass destruction. And a good thing to note here is how Sasuke compares his team Sugetsu, Jugo, and Karin to his old team of Team 7. You know, where he starts reflecting on this time of both Naruto, Sakura, and Kakashi. And this comes immediately after he says, "I'm going to destroy the hidden lead first." So this brings up some interesting possibilities for conflict within Sasuke as a character, which sadly doesn't happen because he immediately just goes full serial killer crazy Orochimaru level in the next arc, which I think was dumb, but
Yeah.
that's all.
I think it was more than dumb.
Hugely
yeah.
dumb.
Plus, Killer B is just one of my favorite characters in general. It's not just because he's a black character either. It's just I like
Killer
his
B is
style and I like
amazing.
how overpowered he is. And I wish he ended up getting, and I'm glad he had more interactions with Naruto as a teacher, but I wish he had more relevance in the final arc. But
Yeah.
this is my favorite fight in Naruto so far, and this is my number 10.
Nice.
Damn.
Underrated fight.
3 fights I did not expect to see so far. Nate, what
So
can you
Nate,
add?
what can you add to that trend?
All right, well, Brandon mentioned the series, but I'm going to bring in a different fight because this is personally one of my favorites in the early arcs. Because the question I have is this. All right, we get to see a Dragon Slayer fight, but what will happen if 2 Dragon Slayers were to fight? Yeah, not Dragneo versus Gagio Red Fox.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn, 2 fairy tales on number 10s.
Basically a semi-mental link, but we had different fights, so
It's quasi.
that's true. But anyways, yeah, I know the Phantom Lord arc, it did focus on Lucy, but the one thing that Phantom Lord did do well, other than introducing Juvia, it introduced Gagio. We get to see Gagio as this powerful Dragon Slayer, someone who is on par with Natsu, or maybe even on par with Urza.
Hugely. I mean, hell, he destroyed the entire fairy tale guild.
Well, he vandalized it. Jose's the one who crushed it to rubble.
True.
Yeah, but even then, Gagio still did some damage to it. And when we get to the fight between Natsu and Gagio, I wasn't even kidding when I asked that question. This is the one question I always have in my head. What would happen if 2 Dragon Slayers were to fight? And then I got my wish. And I was not disappointed as we get to see how powerful both Natsu and Gagio are with both fire and Iron Dragon slaying magic. You literally get to see them go all out. Natsu going on the offensive and Gagio going on the defensive, especially when he activated Iron Dragon scales.
Yeah.
I know the animation back then was like pretty iffy, but I had to admit that looks pretty cool.
Agreed.
And when we finally get to the climax of that fight, oh my god. It was just, it felt like a rush after seeing Natsu go wailing on Gagio, because Phantom Lord really tortured Fairy Tail for a long time. So it was satisfying to see Fairy Tail get their revenge on it. Granted, Lucy did help out in the fight by giving Natsu fire, which is why I can only put it at number 10. But other than that, I still love the fight. We get to see Natsu and Gajio go all out, use different elements. The music in that fight was very, very good too. And that was like the moment that I started loving Gajio, even though he was pretty much an asshole during the time.
He's awesome though. Gajio's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Holy crap.
Jeez.
Again. Kevin.
Wow.
What do you have to do a wrap of crazy number 10s, man?
Contrary to popular belief, I don't hate this series. Okay, I don't hate this series. I enjoy it. It's just too long, and it's weird.
Yeah.
Some people might like the fights with CP9. Some might like the fights against Big Mama's children. But the one fight that really just I love and remember, Monkey D. Luffy versus Sir Crocodile.
Oh!
Oh,
That is a good fight. That's a
I
good
know.
fight.
Here, all right, let me explain some facts. One fact: that's the first One Piece fight I've seen fully. No, I didn't. I saw it on YouTube, so I saw the full fight. I didn't see any of the episodes, but holy shit! And two, the history with this fight. I mean, the first fight, Luffy could not touch Crocodile. He kept punching through him. He kept breaking him. And Sir Crocodile was one of the few villains to almost kill Luffy, literally stabbing him with a poisoned hook.
He is one of the warlords, so...
Exactly.
Luffy lost twice to this guy. Twice.
I know, exactly. And it was interesting. He even gave Luffy PTSD at one point. But when they fought again, when Luffy discovered his weakness of water, that's when he started using like a portable hose to try to weaken Crocodile. When Crocodile got hit, seeing him pissed was just like, And as the fight went on and as the water was being used up, Luffy decided to just suck it all up and spit it at Crocodile. Even when that was done, Luffy used his brain and used the one liquid he actually had, blood. Just seeing Luffy use his bloody fucking hands to just beat the shit out of Crocodile, breaking apart the building they're in, it was just great. And the last shot of Gum Gum Gatling just hitting the shit out of Crocodile in midair, I was just like, okay, the series is gonna be good.
Gum Gum Storm.
That was Gum Gum Storm.
Yeah, Gum Gum Storm is really good.
Yes. See, here's another reason why I like this fight is Luffy didn't use any power-ups. He didn't have anyone helping him. He used his brain. Okay, so yes, Luffy's a dumbass. He's not a hopeless dumbass. So I will say that. But that's why this fight's like low, because One Piece just got weird. I'm sorry, Trey. It got weird. And
It is really weird. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's a talking reindeer as their doctor. That's as weird as you can get.
Yeah, it's as weird as you can get.
yeah, but yeah, overall, this was just a fight I love holding high regard. Yes, I might shit on One Piece, but I don't hate it. So yeah, that's my number 10.
Nice.
We're
Glad
all
to see some
bringing good
respect on One
fights
Piece's name.
already.
All
Thank
right,
you,
the
thank you,
opening
Trey.
match is over. Let's move on to the next one.
All right.
So
Round 2.
number 9. Oh boy. I saw the most recent highest rated shonen movie on the market, but this fight for the first season is what really hooked me on this show. With not just one person, but 2 people versus 1.
Wait, I think I know what you're talking about.
Wait.
Tanjiro and Nezuko versus Rui, the lower 5.
Oh my god! How did I forget about that?
Yeah, that's right.
Bro.
Guys. Demon Slayer is here.
I'm actually a little more shocked. It's number 9, but continue, please.
It is like, once again, this is a very recent shonen. All the other ones have a special place to me because I grew up watching that. But do not get me wrong. This fight, Demon Slayer they know how to handle their fights.
I was already hooked on it. That fight brought it to the max for me.
I mean, holy shit! This was a hard toss-up between that fight and also with Tanjiro versus the Drum Demon.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was a
very
hard
practical,
choice,
too.
but this one just the build up with Rui revealing that he's one of the 12 Kisuke. He's the lower number 5. But Tanjiro just, oh my god, this fight literally almost ruined his body to the max. Even broke
so
his
let's just get this
sword
out of the way.
again.
Let's get this out of the way. Fuck you, Rui. You're not taking Nezuko.
Oh yeah, fuck him. Fuck him.
Yeah,
He's got a messed
I
up
hate
idea.
what he did to Nezuko, but I still love Rui as a villain.
Yeah, he's
But I'm telling you, he's a great villain. He's just that. Fuck you.
just that Rui's character, like, and that's why I love Demon Slayer, how they handle their villains. You actually feel for them when you actually see their backstory. It's actually, I don't know who to root for anymore in Demon Slayer.
No, you know who to root for. Like, they're tragic, but they're still demons.
I know,
Yeah,
I
they
know
still eat
that,
people.
but
There is one thing you shouldn't root for. Don't root for Muzan, though.
no,
Oh, yeah, no, he's
no,
just an
no,
unsympathetic
No, fuck
coward.
that guy.
get the fuck away from me. But can we talk about the art style in that fight? Jesus Christ! When I knew the art style was good enough when we saw the when Tanjiro was using water breathing against Rui's silk, but when Nezuko unleashed her blood demon art, my God, those flames! Oh my God! The animator, the artist, bravo!
They need to get a promotion for that.
Bravo!
Fun
But-
fact: the sword styles effect, all the water, all the lightning, that's an anime original idea.
Yeah.
In the original this manga, it was just basic sword style.
That's basically all it is, and that's what's good about this. They take the idea of like sword styles, but giving it like almost like an elemental kind of feel, and that's also what adds to the fact when Tanjiro unleashes the fire technique for the first time. Even though it didn't really kill Rui separated because he knew the risk.
And also, let's just point this out. That was with a broken sword.
Yes,
Can you imagine
Imagine the damage you could have done if it was intact.
hugely, man.
We did. It was in the movie.
He did. It was in the movie, but holy shit, this fight just... I love Demon Slayer just so much after I saw Mugen Train. And I just remember this fight has just stuck out to me the most in that season. So the two Demon Slayers versus the lower 5 is my number 9.
Man,
Plus the music was beautiful.
let me say this. The ending to that fight, after all that, it was emotional. I cried.
Yeah.
Usually,
I felt so bad.
Yeah, props to
You-
Billy Comets, though. Great performance.
usually, man. So that's my number 9. What do you got for that, Nicholas?
Well, we go back to a standard matchup. Only this time we're multiplying the size of the combatants by about 50 or 100. It ain't robots. It's Flesh Gundam.
Wait, what? No.
What?
Wait, what?
It's an Attack on Titan fight.
Which
Oh.
one? Which one?
Oh, easy. Easy. All right. A lot of them are good. Let's be honest. A lot of the fights with Eren as Titan are good.
Oh,
Okay?
Mhm.
They're some of the highlights. But for me, the one that sticks out is the first time he and Reiner went at each other.
Oh,
That was
the Berserker Titan versus the
right.
Armor Titan. Yeah.
Yahoo! I mean, first of all, the setup. He revealed everything. Reiner basically said, Reiner was basically wearing the sign that said, I'm the killer, I'm the guy who killed your mom. And he's like, how did you think he was going to react?
You just wanted to mock him.
Usually.
And then the fight starts. Eren is basically just throwing haymakers. It's because he's in such a blind rage. And every time, not only does his fist break, but Reiner breaks his jaw. But then that slight twist. He's going for a punch, ducks Reiner, grabs him, and throws him into a judo hold. And at which point, the fight becomes a giant MMA fight, which makes sense when you learn that the Armor Titan was inspired by pro wrestler and MMA fighter Brock Lesnar. The creator took the look of an actual human being and was like, I want to use that somehow. How do I do it? I'm
They got
serious.
creative with it.
I am not making this up. This is an actual fact.
Holy shit.
I mean, like I said, it then turns into an MMA fight with joint locks, wrist manipulation. Aaron's got him in a guillotine choke by the end of it. And he's this close to breaking his shell open. But that's why it's this low, because we never get a real ending. Berthold basically disqualifies both combatants and runs away. So we don't actually have a true winner. But again, giant MMA fight with outside a wall. I had to put it on this list somewhere.
Fair enough.
So that's my number 9.
Damn. Finally, I knew someone was going to have Attack on Titan on this list.
I didn't think we were gonna get it that early.
Yeah, I know, right? All right,
So,
Trey.
Trey, what was your number 9?
My number 9 is actually a pretty freaking brutal one. It was one of the first few serious anime fights I saw that was outside the shonen genre. I am talking about Ken Kaneki versus Yamari, aka Yakumo Omori from Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Damn, I forgot how brutal that fight was.
Jesus
Christ.
Come on.
Wow.
I'm getting Dina flashbacks just thinking about that fight.
Now,
I
I'm
still
gonna
shudder
go.
every time I see a bug.
God.
Now, okay, we all know that Tokyo Ghoul doesn't have the best reputation in regards to its anime exclusively, but we can all agree that season 1 was fucking fantastic, at
Yes.
the very least.
Yes.
I will agree.
And I'm just gonna say the build up to this, when Kaneki was kidnapped, just the torture scenes was just some of the most cringing. It made me cringe the whole damn time. Like how he repeatedly took advantage of Kaneki's healing factor, ripped off his fingers and toes, let him grow back, put a centipede in his ear, and made him choose between a couple which life he wants to save. And because Kaneki is Kaneki, he couldn't choose, so both of them ended up dying.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he would have still killed both of them, even if Kaneki would have chose.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
easily.
he does. Well, his nickname is Jason. Of course he's going to kill the couple in love.
Yes. So, and honestly, it was all just to break Kaneki's sanity while pretty much getting off on seeing Kaneki suffer from Yamari's perspective. And we see within Kaneki's mind how he's just slowly breaking. And we see, God, what was her name? The bitch that almost ate Kaneki and grew.
Rize.
Rize. Thank
Yeah.
you, Rize. We see Kaneki slowly lose his mind to the point where he sees his human self as weak and eats it. And we just get the best be careful what you wish for moments ever. We see Kaneki literally break free of his chains, whisper "fuck you" in Yamari's ear, and take a bite out of his cheek. And from that point on, it was just holy hell.
It was just
Start
body
Monarchy
gore.
going
Combat,
Oh, yeah.
man.
It was,
It was literally just
almost Saw level.
See, and also one of the most eerie things about was how Kaneki adopted Yamari's habit of just cracking his fingers like this.
Yeah.
Sadistically enjoying giving Yamari the runaround, just shrugging off all of his attacks before pulling out his own Kagane halfway through and dominating him, tearing off his arm and body slamming him into the ground in a crater. But what clinched it was when Kaneki started torturing him in return, stabbing all of his limbs, telling him count backwards from
1,000 minus 7.
It was just
And then,
like
of course, the ear attack.
yes, that part when he knocked out the centipede. Like honestly, both the English dub and the original Japanese versions kill it.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, the
Austin
voice acting
Tyndall
for this scene.
nailed that part as
That makes it
Kaneki.
even scarier because he had that experience when playing Accelerator.
Yeah.
Best boy.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Kaneki
Austin
is
Hill.
Accelerator?
Yeah, that was him in the
Yeah,
dub.
the same dub
Hey.
actor.
And also, he
Damn.
played a Karma in Assassination Classroom.
And Leopold in Black Clover.
I can
And-
see that.
Damn, that guy's got range.
Yeah, he does,
know,
man.
Hey, he even plays Shu in Guilty Crown.
Yeah, that's true. He does.
Mm-hmm.
But back to this fight, if we're looking at it from a story perspective, what it really is it's more or less a tragedy, in all honesty. Like, the best I compare it to is probably the Joker movie. We're seeing a kid fall from grace right here. And when he pretty much cannibalizes Yamuri's Kagane, that's pretty much showing that he crossed the line. That he's willing to go to any lengths he needs to protect the people he cares about. And although in the anime they didn't portray it that well, in the manga,
10 times better. 10
Jesus
times
Christ,
like,
the
I'm just gonna
manga,
say
man.
this.
Without a doubt.
Her name, what was his love interest's name? What was her name again?
Toka.
Toka. Toka's brother breaks half of his limbs. He
Yeah.
breaks half the bones in his entire body. Just gonna say that. But yeah, Yamuri versus Kaneki. This is my number 9. The only reason why it's this low is mostly because, like, while it did have a lot of emotional weight behind it, in terms of like the actual fight itself, it didn't have much into it besides seeing Kaneki just brutalize Yamuri.
Fair
Wow.
enough, man.
Wow.
Oh man, Nate, dude, what do you have, man?
Okay, well, we talked about like regular sword fights, and then we talk about like a sword versus gun. So let's bring in a full-on gun fight here.
Oh!
Yep, my number 9, Sakanosuke Oda versus Andre Gide from Bungo Stray
You
Dogs.
cocksucker!
Oh,
Why?
dogs.
Oh my god!
Why? You son of a bitch!
I love this. Like, I told Kevin when I was watching Bungo Stray Dogs that Oda's arc, Oda-no-Suke's arc made me cry.
You
Dude,
really did it? I don't recall you ever saying this.
This was when I was this was when I was just a reviewer to you.
Oh. You were nothing. So you're basically a nobody to me. Okay, got it. But continue, Nate.
Oh my god. Can I just say, the setup for that fight? Oh my god. We get to see Gide hint that he and Oda are basically the same thing, and when Oda refuses to fight him, Gide decided to go to extreme lengths, killing the
God.
people that Oda loves. I know we didn't actually get to hear him scream, but I can imagine it in my head. It was painful. That's when his world break, and that he was like, screw it. I'm gonna take out this son of a bitch myself. And when we get to see them fight in action, oh man, seeing them fight head on with guns, reloading, and even when they were trying to interfere, they decided to like to team up for a brief moment, take them out, and then head back to their fight.
Yeah, and plus, opening 2 was playing.
I
oh,
know.
yeah.
I already like opening 2, but when that opening play during the fight, oh man, it made me love that more. And when Gide said that they were similar, he was not kidding, because they had the exact same powers. So you can literally figure out, oh, which one's gonna happen, like who's gonna win. It's like literally impossible. It's very hard to tell. And the final part of the battle, even when Oda managed to kill Gide, Oda dies in Dazai's arms, and that convinces Dazai to leave the Mafia. Oh, man. That was a really emotional fight. David Vincent did a great job playing Oda. Mad props to that guy.
Usually.
But yeah, I'd already like Bungo Stray Dogs, but that fight shows a glimpse of what an action pack it can do. Because overall, it's a really good gunfight. Very emotional, very intense. Great build up to it. That's why I had to put it at number 9.
Fuck you. Fuck you. That literally. Come on, Nate. Fuck you. You broke me.
I know. I didn't think I was gonna hype everyone up that much.
We all love Bungo Stray Dogs, you ungrateful prick. All right, it's my turn.
Yes, buddy. What is your number 9 though? You can rage
Well-
quit that later.
Okay, so let's calm down. Let's have a fight that's epic and a little funny.
Hmm?
It's from an isekai, and Brandon likes it. He got me into it.
Oh,
I like as much as I like the final fight of the series, I had to go with Maple versus me from Bovary. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense.
God, yes. dude.
It's the second and last fight of the season, and it was just here's the thing about Bovary. It doesn't follow like Slime or SAR or anything where you die here, you die in real life. It's a game, and holy shit, Maple is the most overpowered girl in the game. So when she fights the Flame Emperor's leader, Me, it was so hype. Like, Me's able to knock her back with her flames. She's even able to burn her, and I'm just like, wow, she's actually making Maple hurt, even with her angel form. And I love how Me always has her friends helping her, but Maple's always the one pushing them back.
Yeah.
It got to the point where Me was able to put a status effect to burn Maple constantly, to where Maple decides, I'm sorry, I gotta use the trump card, Machine God.
Yeah.
She becomes a mech. And it's just, no, Trey, that wouldn't work. Maple would destroy now for me.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
Maple became a mech. She has cannons and guns with everything.
Has a Gundam armor, guys.
And guys,
Gundam armor.
It goes to the point where even Me and her comrades are like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And
Please tell me some of them just drop their gear and just run for their lives.
no.
Nope.
Well, actually, some of them do, but you know what Me says? She calls Maple a monster at that point. She's not human.
No,
And
she's
there's-
not.
And there's a boss theme that plays. You know how in video games you face the boss, you're gonna win, but then there's a final boss theme? That's what happens! And Maple destroys everything to the point where Me decides, fuck it, I'm gonna blow myself up with you. So she gets on Maple and blows herself up. But Maple lives with... She still has her health because her vitality is so big, only part of her health is gone when Me blows herself up. And then when Me comes back, the Proud Warrior drops, and Me cries. She's like, "Yeah, man, I thought I was gonna win." It's just, it was an epic fight, and it was just hilarious. So, Nate, when you watch Bofuri, that fight's gonna make you break. So yeah,
It's awesome, man. Season 2 is coming.
oh yeah. So yeah,
Wait.
Maple versus Me, as much as it doesn't have an emotional or story-driven plot, backing, it was still funny and epic. So yeah, that's my number 9.
Damn, dude. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you for getting me into Bofuri.
And then Kevin agrees with me. He sees why Maple is a waifu, guys.
Yes.
Well, I know what I'm going to be seeing after Railgun T once I finish a regular.
Wait, you're watching Railgun T after regular?
Yeah.
Oh shit, nice.
Wow.
Okay. Oh wait, now we have to watch Overlord season 3 soon. Shit. All right, go ahead, Brandon.
Alrighty, number 8. Oh man, go. Somebody did bring in a bunch of Titans smacking around in a previous entry.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
As much as I loved a lot of the fights in both season 2 and season 3 of Attack on Titan, one fight in season 1 broke me.
Yes.
It broke me.
Wait.
Please be.
Round 1 of Aaron versus Annie.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Round 1. You're talking about it in the forest, right?
In the forest.
Guys,
Oh my god, that scene.
guys,
Jesus
I think we need to take a
Christ,
break
guys.
after this because we're getting too hyped.
The
for this.
build up for when Aaron transforms into his Titan form. Seeing his new friends, his squad mates, killed one after the other in brutal fashion. One getting bit in half, one getting stomped on, and one just getting ragdolled all the way through the forest. It just broke Aaron.
It
To
broke
when he
me.
actually, to basically go as like he just, no, I'm not just gonna fight you. I'm gonna
I'm
kill
gonna
you.
kill you.
And just the roar he lets out when he transforms into a Titan and that music in the background. This is why I loved Attack on Titan. I love this show. My God, this the animation for those fights between both Annie and Aaron's Titan forms was just smooth, was just so smooth and flawless. Every single one of their blows had weight to it. Aaron is just going balls out, pushing Annie on the defensive, but he doesn't know that it's her. He just thinks it's another abnormal. But it wasn't until the last fight when he actually, he's going full on insane. You can see it in Titan's eyes. His eyes are darting around all over the place. He wants to devour this person. But then, when he basically breaks his kneecap, busts his arm, with his jawline broken halfway off, it's dangling there, he looks at the Titan. You don't see what happens, but in his eyes, he was shocked. Till when they revealed it, that it was Annie. She went into her fighting stance. It broke Aaron psychologically that he could not transform to a Titan after that for a while. My God, this fight just set the bar for just brutal fighting capacity. And just,
Can we also just talk about her ice powers?
yes, the crystallization armor power.
Crystals.
Jesus.
The crystal claws. Oh man.
Oh man.
I mean, you want to talk about a knuckle duster?
Hugely, man. I cannot believe that. I read the manga though. I was really disappointed with the manga, how it ended, but it cannot take away from the fact that season 1 of Attack on Titan is the best season in the franchise.
Without a doubt.
Hands down.
Really?
I like season 2 a lot, really, though.
Season 2 was
It's
good
nice.
in a way. Season 3 got a little bit weird, but
Yeah.
season 4 they just jumped the shark.
Season 4 is kind of a mixed bag. Like, it builds up to a lot of good moments, but the conclusion of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no,
like the
that's-
execution.
The final episode is not the final episode. That's just the.
No, yeah,
mid-season
that's just the
finale.
mid-season. That's just a mid-season mark. We still have that, but I did read the manga. I know what happens in the end, but
Same. I found out what happened too. So.
it cannot take away from the fact that fight is the reason why I bought the first season of Attack on Titan on Blu-ray and Garen no Yumiya to put it on my playlist because I love that show. Eren versus Annie was by far one of my favorite Titan fights in Attack on Titan. That is my number 8.
Man, I already have a mic phone from before you. Why are you trying to make it worse?
Trust me, Nate. You haven't seen anything yet in both.
You haven't seen
At this
anything yet,
point-
man. You want to see my fucker? Wait till you get some of the other ones on my list.
Oh,
Wait until you get to me.
On that
Oh,
point,
thank you.
man, off to you, Nicholas. What do you got?
Well, we're gonna get some serious firepower in this one,
Fire?
fuck. Wait.
but it's not the one you think it is.
Okay. I'm
It ain't
curious.
fairy tale, but it does
Okay.
have F in the title.
Fire Force?
Actually, it
Fire
has
Force.
2.
Fire Force?
Yeah.
Okay, so which one?
Well, there are a lot of good ones.
Hmm.
Okay, let's be honest on that. But for me, the one that sticks out the most because of just how unique it is, Hinowa versus Arrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that one. That was an awesome fight.
fight.
Gun versus
Yes,
arrow. Oh.
Dude.
Ooh.
Technically, our first gunfight.
Okay, seriously, we gotta calm down. This is ridiculous, man.
It's
Wow.
not our
Nicholas,
fault all these
awesome.
fights are off.
Nicholas, continue, please.
Please.
Okay, look, Maki's fight with Flail was great. Everybody
Yes.
in the Nether's fight was great, but the one I brought up just sticks out with me because at no point does anybody throw any fists. Nobody drops it. Nobody tries to kick anybody. Nobody goes for an arm grab. It's just a shootout. In the most literal sense possible. First of all, Hinowa suddenly has an ass ton of gun barrels. But I don't know where he was keeping those. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I want to know.
He has deep pockets, that's how.
Oh.
And it's basically just who can hit who first. That's all this fight comes down to. And my God, when Hinowa does that trick, when he takes Arrow's firepower
Oh.
adds it to his own.
Mm.
Mid-flight.
Mm.
Bullet mid-flight. And Arrow has no time to react. No time to try to shoot another arrow. All you can do is just stay there, eyes wide, and
He was legit trying to process what happened during that
Oh
time.
my god! Like,
I mean, and let's be honest, that took as much out of Hinawa as it did her.
yeah, no
He
kidding.
collapsed. I mean, he collapsed. He was this close to getting a knife in his back after that.
Oh man.
One of my
Forget, is
favorite.
Arrow a third generation or second generation?
She's third.
Third generation.
You don't want one against a third generation fire user, even though it's a
Yeah.
second. That's the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have plenty of other great fights on that series, but only one of them is an honorable mention. Okay, I am not flooding this list with all Fire Force,
It's fair. Good, because that'd be boring.
Fine, man.
but that is my favorite fight from season 1. And,
Nice,
and it's
nice.
just cemented that Hinawa is a fucking badass, even if he has no fashion sense.
Oh yeah. Wait, hey, a quick question, Nicholas. What's your favorite fight in season 2?
That one would have to be Juggernaut versus Orochi.
Oh,
That's a good
Juggernaut.
fight too.
damn. Rip.
Dude,
Juggernaut gets my
respect. That was so
Yeah,
fun.
respect. God. Okay, Trey, cool us down, please.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I have to cool you guys down because cooling down is the only way the characters in this fight were able to survive. They were on
Ooh.
JoJo, right?
Oh, which one? Which one?
What?
Part 5, Golden Wing. Specifically, Bruno Bucciarati and Guido Mista versus Prosciutto and Pecci in the Grateful Dead.
I'm sorry, these names are ridiculous.
Hey,
They're
it's
Italian.
JoJo. What do you expect?
Oh wow, Brandon's so hyped.
This fight, honestly, like a lot of fights in JoJo are amazing, but I wanted to pick out a fight that embodies everything you can love about a JoJo stand battle, and this was the perfect one for it. Holy shit! Stand battles are literally chess matches with punch ghosts, and this is definitely
That's a
one
good way
long
to
ass,
put it up.
this is definitely one long ass chess match. You see, they're on a freaking train trying to protect the boss's daughter, Trish. And basically what they've done is they're hiding in the front car in a turtle. Don't ask questions. I'm not going to explain it. So from that point on, though, the assassins of La Squadra who are trying to kill Trish's daughter, or at least get information on the boss through Trish, one of them has a stand that makes people older with the fumes in the midst. And on a train in compact areas, this sucks ass. And it's even affecting our main characters in the turtle. So Mista has to go out and find a way to stop this. Except he runs into Pesci, who is Beach Boy, which is named after the band Beach Boys.
Ironically enough.
Which is basically a fishing hook that can phase through anything. Now, this sounds kind of lame, but it's not lame when it's phasing through your chest and ripping out your heart. Not to mention any damage that's inflicted on that line is reflected back onto the person connected to the hook. But seeing Mista gather his thoughts and destroy the ice cubes, basically Grateful Dead's weakness, the hotter your temperature, the older you get, but the cooler your temperature, you reverse the effects. And Pesci was using ice cubes to keep himself young. And Guida uses his gun to destroy the fucking ice cubes. It's just awesome from that point onwards. But then Prosciutto comes in, turns Mista older, and takes him out of the fight. So Bruno has to step in, and he owns both of them in one single sitting with his sticky fingers, which pretty much places zippers on any person or anything it touches. And we see Bruno show his conviction as a leader to this point, because he's even willing to jump straight out the train with Prosciutto just to get Grateful Dead off and turn everyone back younger. And we also see Pesci's resolve after this point onwards too, because Prosciutto, what happens, after he gets thrown out of the train, he ends up getting ran over and nearly killed. So Pesci has to step up, and he pretty much resolves himself to kill Bruno. And this resolve is so fearsome to the point where Bruno has to zip himself up into pieces, nearly splitting apart his own heart, killing himself just to gain an advantage over Pesci. And it concludes in the most traditional way possible, in a literal standoff outside with a sunset. It looks like a freaking Western at this point. And we see Pesci nearly rip out Bruno's heart, but Bruno uses the line from Beach Boy to snap Pesci's neck and pretty much punches him into literal pieces with his trademark catchphrase, Arrivederci. It is just balls to the wall action, suspense, and just filled with mind games of both sides trying to outdo the other. And that is what JoJo is, and it had to have been number one.
Nice.
Number 8. Well, it's number 1 JoJo fight for me, but it's number 8 on this list.
Fair enough, man. Jeez.
Nice.
Alrighty, Nate. Dude, what do you have?
Okay, well, number 8. Well, let's get into Ruby for this one, because, yeah, the show for the story for Ruby, it could be hit or miss, but if there's one thing I will praise about Ruby, their fights are pretty good. But which one's my favorite? Well, coming from one of the more underrated volumes, it would have to be from Volume 4, Crow Bronwyn versus Tyrion Kahlo.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's my favorite fight.
Easily my favorite fight from Volume 4. And damn, I know people are very mixed about Volume 4, but I do enjoy Volume 4 because the one thing that Volume 4 did well for is introducing Tyrion.
Yes.
Because, wow, they show Tyrion as this crazy guy, and when we get to see him fight Team Ranger, he's scary when he fights. Heck, he took a blow from Nora, who was already charged up. And right when it looks like that Tyrion's about to kill Ruby with his scorpion tail, Crow came in and decided to screw it. I'm gonna take out the scorpion guy myself. And you get to see both of them go all the while Crow is doing his best to protect Ruby, Jean, Nora, and Ren. He was literally doing his best because if they get involved, his semblance will affect them as well.
Oh, that's actually a good thing about this fight. We actually see how it can work during combat, and it's actually pretty fucking annoying to fight against, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, pretty much. And even when Tyrion disarms Crow of his weapons, Crow decides like,
Screw it!
punches Tyrion in the face. I thought that was comical for some reason.
Yeah, it was. We know Crow. He's nonchalant on anything, to be honest.
Yeah, pretty much. And we also get to see that bad luck in effect because Crow was able to see a broken part of the wood in the house, so he walked over it and let Tyrion fall into it. Heck, that fight got so intense, both of their auras broke. We never got to see that happen in most other Ruby fights. I think the other Ruby fight that had that happen was probably Cinder versus Raven.
Yeah.
And my god, I got legit scared for Crow when he got poisoned by Tyrion. I got scared for him.
But then that immediately got subverted when Ruby cuts off Tyrion's tail.
Yeah.
And the fact that Tyrion was
Why,
like,
you bitch!
First
Ew.
swear word in Ruby.
yeah, I was like, oh my god. And I'm not surprised that Tyrion...
Monty wouldn't let us curse. Monty wouldn't let us curse. I know.
And-
Continue.
Man, I had to give props because Josh Grell and Vic Mignogna really did some good vocals for that performances.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, if Crow and Tyrion were to fight again, I wouldn't mind to see how Josh Grell and Jason Liebert do that fight, like for their official rematch. I'm not talking about the one in Volume 7, no.
Oh yeah, that one, that was...
What the hell was that?
Like, it was a good fight
but it was
visually,
good.
but what? What was the point of that?
The build up to it was just stupid, but that's another time. I like
Yeah,
That's
but
what-
like
that's what we
overall,
actually like.
overall, Crow Bronwyn versus Tyrion Kahlo, it shows what the new animation for Ruby what it can do, shows how deadly Tyrion can be, and shows how much of a badass Crow can be on his own.
Also,
why
shout out to Casey Williams, who sang Bad Luck Charm during this
Yeah,
fight.
that's a
Oh,
good song.
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 8. Very underrated fight from an underrated volume.
Yeah.
Fair enough,
Yep.
man.
There. Wow. That was a surprise thing. Wow. All right.
What do you got for your number 8?
Well, Trey brought in one 2v1. I'm gonna bring you another, and this is from a series Nate talked about. You know how rivals
Wait a
always
minute.
fight. You know how rivals always fight each other, and usually they try to kill the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
But what happens when they're forced to work together against the bigger threat?
Oh my god!
Oh, this is...
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Yep. Atsushi Nakajima and
Ryunosuke
Octagawa.
Octagawa.
Ryunosuke Octagawa versus Francis Fitzgerald from Bungo Stray Dogs.
Oh,
season
the-
two.
oh,
Bungo
yeah.
Stray Dogs makes a return.
Yep.
At the
Okay.
back.
So,
Yeah.
so we already know Atsushi and Octagawa they fucking hate each other. They
Yeah.
like
You would too after what he did to Kyoka.
yeah,
Yeah.
and also even though yes, Octagawa's a Nosuke Senpai character, he's badass. So when they see Francis and they learn that he has bombs and stuff ready to be primed, they decide, fuck it, we have to stop him, even if we have to work together. And it was awesome. At first, Francis's Fitzgerald ability, where for some reason spending money gets you stronger, I was just like, that's actually unique.
I
Oh, that's the
know.
Great Gatsby for you.
Yep. And seeing Okagawa's demonic armor, it was pretty tight. But even with that, Francis just kept beating the shit out of them. So when they started to finally team up, and opening 2 again plays, I'm like, yes. As hard as they keep punching, Francis is always ahead of them. But when they catch him off guard, you can just feel the punches. It was just epic. Even when Atsushi gets knocked out of the plane, out of the blimp, and Okagawa catches him yelling his name, just the final team up attack, just the Rashomon going to Atsushi's arm and then yelling and punching Francis, just time's going down, Francis is losing money. I'm just like, the hype is so real. And then seeing Dazai question Kyoka's resolve, it was the icing on the cake. And at the end of the fight, we learned why Francis did what he did. And he went from a character you just hate to a character you kind of understand, still hate.
Yeah.
It was just,
That
it was
was-
just a great fight. Like, it was a great team up fight. And their fight in season 3, their team up fight, which Trey has to watch, was pretty epic too. But still, this one had so much weight. This was a great way to end season 2. That's my number 8. What were you
The
gonna
team
say,
up in
Nate?
the
Damn.
movie, though, it was also good, too.
Oh yeah, with Kyoka. Dead Apple was pretty good.
Mhm.
All right, so number 7. Number 7. Oh my gosh. Like I said, how my list is gonna get more and more fucked up.
Uh-oh.
How the fuck did we talk to you?
Bankai
Wait,
Okay.
from
one?
Bleach. But holy shit, this fight. Ichigo versus Okira.
Motherfucker, that's on my list.
Kira.
That's on my list, Brandon. You son of a bitch.
Oh
For a
my
second there,
God.
you chose Byakuya.
Mm.
No, I did this. It was a toss up, but this one just the fight between those two, man. Oh my god.
That wasn't a fight against swordsmen. That's a fight against demons.
And it's just the way the pacing was out between those two. It was just so well done. You don't even see there because everyone talks about like yes, we see Hollow Ichigo and the demon form of Okira, but also just the build up leading up to that fight is just absolutely groundbreaking with how Shonen was going to be because of the fact that you just don't know the capabilities of the two of them until they go full basically when they go full out.
Oh, what?
Yeah, just oh my god, I still remember like I watched it the first time, the scene where Hollow Ichigo comes onto the scene, just oh my god, the roar.
The dub roar, man. The dub
That
roar
was
was
terrifying.
Just oh my god, that was I don't even know how they made that sound. But that was just it fit the idea and the theme. And Okira's just like he doesn't know about this power. He's taken by a shot even when he saw his arm was cut off. He didn't even know his arm was cut off until he actually saw it, and they actually couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
But Jesus, man, just the beam struggle.
Oh.
I love the Dragon Ball Z beam struggles. This one has a monster of a beam struggle between the two of them.
It's like Bleach took a page from Dragon Ball Z. It was like, how are we gonna make this epic enough?
They
Oh my
did it.
dear.
They did it. They did it, and the gothic choir music in the background just made this fight so damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait to see when Bleach makes a return. I really want to see another fight between those two.
And a properly paced final arc of Bleach.
Yes, please.
One that'll fix
don't
what
wanna
happened in the
make-
manga.
We don't want a mess.
I mean, if Food Wars was able to fix the manga's ending in the anime, Bleach can do the same.
They
Oh
can,
wait,
yes.
they did?
Yes.
Food Wars had a.
Sorry for another day.
That's another day though. So, but two of the most badass sword fights, but with a sense of dark gothic magic behind it. Ichigo and Ukira take my spot number 7.
Oh my god, you guys made my day with that announcement from Food Wars. Oh my god.
Go ahead, Nicholas. What is your number 7?
Beast Beneath the Moonlight.
Ooh, Bungo Stray Dogs.
Showman. It's
Oh.
Kevin's. It's the same, but again.
Oh,
Cocksucker!
oh, you guys had a mental link right there.
No, we didn't. No, we were close to having a mental link. We were close.
Sure, you were close, but still.
Holy
Just
shit!
a shout. Just that shout of an insult. That's hilarious.
Who's insulting who?
You! When you just went cocksucker.
Anyway, what about the fight?
Oh, it's epic, okay? We've seen fight. Okay, first of all, let's just talk location. We've seen fights on trains. We've seen fights in planes. We've seen fights on boats. We've seen fights in everywhere. I think this is the first time I've seen an anime fight on a blimp.
Giant whale, actually.
No.
It's the Moby
Technically, the Battle City arc, Termina arc in Yu-Gi-Oh, they had duels on the blimp, so.
But this is a giant whale blimp, so this is different.
Yeah. it's
But
a
we
little
have
different.
we have Egyptian god cards, Trey.
EDA, get into this fight before I kill Kevin.
That's not, to me, that's not a fight. To be a fight, you have to throw a punch or two. At least to me. I mean, but yes, Kevin touched a lot of this, but just how badly they get their asses kicked when they start fighting, because that makes sense. To me, that would have been weirder if all of a sudden they were in perfect sync. Agreed?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Just, it's the first time they're fighting together. They shouldn't automatically have this chemistry. It's a work, should be a work in progress.
Yeah.
It feels more realistic that way. And yes, I know I just said the word realistic in Bungo Stray Dogs. But, I mean, just Francis is this close to killing them. And then he runs out of money. And all of his power goes. They were saved by the skin of their teeth. And that final punch. Damn it, that was satisfying.
Hell yeah.
I guess this means that if Fitzgerald had used his money actually more properly instead of trying to meet them head to head, he could have killed them.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was just spending money recklessly.
Like every rich white guy.
He's... Oh shit.
Go! Try go.
On that note, Trey, go to yours.
All right. Now, I want to see the reaction to this though, because it's a new one.
Oh,
What?
a new one.
Oh my god.
This
Wait.
fight just recently came out in animation. It's a sword fight. It heated things up really good, but ended in some tragedy right there. I'm gonna tell
No
you.
way. No way.
Yep. Kyojuro Rengoku versus Akaza from Demon Slayer.
Oh my god.
Fuck you, Trey. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Brennan cried because of that, you fucker.
Oh,
I got teary-eyed during that fight scene.
You look what you did, Trey. You see what you did? This is why you're not coming to Florida with us. Among other things.
Oh man, dude.
I'm sorry. And also spoiler for this section. So if you don't
Be
want to
sure
get
to
spoiled,
put
just
that
skip
in
the
the
part.
video, Brandon.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right. Honestly, this fight though. Now, I got introduced to this fight in the manga. Like I immediately finished season 1 and I immediately started reading the manga. I was impatient, and while the anime does elevate to a new level, it still had a good chunk of emotion in reading it. And holy damn, seeing Rengoku showcase all of his skills and abilities against this seemingly unstoppable monster. Like, this is the first time we're seeing an actual upper moon in comics.
Yes.
Yeah.
And no wonder they're considered Hashira or pillar killers. Because, like, the anime shows it in a much better way. We see Rengoku slowly get exhausted, slowly get worn down and damaged beyond repair. He loses his eye, his bones are broken. He starts bleeding from his mouth. And Akaza, he's just keep healing from whatever damage that Rengoku dishes out, while saying, you know, become a demon, Rengoku. Like,
You can do this
you're going to
forever.
die. You're going to become old and weak. Your abilities are going to fade and stagnate. Become a pillar like me, and you'll be strong. But seeing Rengoku stay steadfast in his ideals, cherish that the short lives that humans have is what makes him more special, which is why he will fight and die as a human pillar for them. He is literally a human pillar for humanity right here.
Yes.
I mean,
And
Vision said it best. The thing isn't beautiful because it lasts.
it's beautiful because of the time we spent with it. I'm probably
Exactly.
not quoting it right, but it's pretty much on that nail on the head. And how he defends Tanjiro and his friends when Akaza calls them weak. How he says they've shown more grit and determination, and that's what makes them strong. And Rengoku shows that determination in spades. And right in his final attack, when Akaza has him impaled on his fist, and it looks like Rengoku's gonna die, but then that flashback to his mother about the true meaning of strength. Like, this is literally what spits in the face of, like, you know, all those characters, like, say, Ezef, who's like, you know, strength conquer the weak or the weak die. No, the strong should protect the weak. And Rengoku shows off that strength by literally trying to cut off his head and hold his fist in place with his abdomen and keep his other fist from crushing his head.
He was legit trying to take Akaza down with him.
Yes, this is
Yeah, man.
suicide right here.
If it wasn't for that fucker Tanjiro, he could have done it. Fuck you, Tanjiro. You're
What?
trash.
It was Inosuke's idea. Blame him.
No, it was
No,
Tanjiro's
Inosuke's
idea, but
pressure.
It was
Inosuke was the one that was
Tanjiro's. It was
closest.
Tanjiro's.
But yeah, I would actually say the sun was what made Akaza more desperate. And the fact that Akaza can just separate limbs on a whim without any real damage is also bullshit.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh my
Fucking
god, he pulled in
bullshit.
he pulled in Okira because he can heal his body too. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Tanjiro at the end, though, when he threw his sword into Akaza's back, he said it best. Rengoku fought on the knight on his terms. He fought him to near death and protected everyone on the train. He won that fight while Akaza ran away. Even if Akaza was running from the sun, he still ran away like a coward in that
Oh
moment.
yeah.
Although
I like
also-
Akaza, but that's the truth.
yeah, but
Overall, this was even though I wish we had more Rengoku than what we got,
yeah.
Oh,
a
trust me, you're gonna
fantastic
get more.
send-off that showed off just exactly what the Hashira are really capable of when the chips are down. And
Hell
it's only
yeah.
going to get better going forward, EDA. I'm telling you that right now.
I hope so.
But
Damn
yeah,
it,
this is number
dude.
7.
My God.
Damn it, Trey.
Trey,
Also,
my heart just recovered from the
yeah,
movie.
Trey.
You
I'm
just
sorry, but I
crushed
had
it
to give
into
it a shout
the
out.
finer
It's fine.
powder.
It's fair. But also, Tanjiro, you just got your sword and you just threw it. You yeeted
Again,
it.
you lost it
You
again,
yeeted
dude.
How
Hey,
can that
hey,
just
hey.
gonna kill you?
Hey, at least he didn't break it this time.
Yeah, but he
But let's
lost
be
it.
real.
You lost it.
Tanjiro goes
I don't know
through
where
more
it is.
Let's be real. Tanjiro goes through more swords than Izuku goes through his bones.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Take
my
that, Demon Slayer community.
Damn, Nate, go, man, on that note.
Okay. Alrighty. Number 7. Maybe this fight might be able to cheer us up because this is one of the childhood fights that got me invested the most. This is the one that I was looking forward to. Number 7. From Pokemon Sinnoh League Victors, Ash versus Paul in the Sinnoh League.
Yes.
Oh my god, Diamond and Pearl, it will always be my favorite generation for Pokemon. And let me just say, the build-up between Ash and Paul's rivalry, it was big. We get to see Paul own Ash every time. using strategies, power, anything. It was just, man. And when we finally get to see the Sinnoh League battle, you know how in the previous battles, Ash is always switching out Pokemon? He's using all the previous Pokemon he caught in the previous journeys?
Yes.
To think that Ash would have done that to fight against Paul, but no, he's stuck with the Sinnoh team because he has the most faith in it. All the while, Paul decided to use different Pokemons. Like, the only Pokemon that he kept around was Electivire, but he brought in freaking Aggron, Gastrodon, Drapion, Frostlass, Ninjask. Oh man. And even though Paul was using Aggron and Gastrodon to figure out Ash's strategy, they still pulls a pretty decent thread, even if Aggron was like probably the weakest. And wow, the fact that Paul uses Ash's strategies too when he used Gastrodon to use Muddy Water as a counter shield. That was... I didn't think Paul would actually use a counter shield. I was surprised by that. But when Paul sent out Drapion, the tables turned. It literally knocked out half of Ash's team. It shows how scary Drapion can be in battle. And even though it had the toxic spike field, Ash decided to like, screw it. I'm gonna like turn the effects back. I'm gonna heat the battlefield. Which is a strategy that, granted, he did use in his battle with Gary and Johto. But even with that, it shows how deadly Paul can be, especially with Frostlass when he brought back Drapion, and when Drapion finally falls to Gliscor. Like, we see Gliscor as this incompetent Pokemon, but it shows that Gliscor could still be a badass. And when he brought out Electivire, I had to admit, I like to call back with the first battle when Ash was trying to use Iron Tail to get in close, but Paul decided to turn it around this time. And when we finally get to see Electivire versus Infernape. Like Trey mentioned in Anime Antiheroes, Paul sees Infernape as weak, useless, and not worth any time. And the fact that Ash brought Infernape's true inner strength out, especially when it unleashes Blaze. Oh man, Infernape literally went Kaioken on that one. And that final shot, when we get to see the two Pokemon glaring at each other before Electivire finally faints, that was Ash's first legit victory against Paul, and it was satisfying to see him be his biggest rival. It was just intense. I was literally on the edge of my seat as a kid. Yeah, overall, Ash versus Paul, they really went all out with this fight. It was the most intense throughout Pokemon. It was amazing. We get to see both trainers use all different kinds of strategy during that fight. That's why I had to put on my list for number 7.
Nice. Pokemon now making its way into the list.
Pretty fitting that I'm wearing a Pokemon shirt right now.
Alrighty, Kev, what is your number 7?
Here's a classic as well. Some people like Goku versus Frieza. Some people liked Vegeta versus Boo. But one that will always catch my heart is with my favorite character, Gohan versus Cell
Yeah.
from Dragon Ball Z.
Nice.
Yes.
I thought it was much higher.
Well, let me explain. So, Goku's not the best father. He's not the best father. I mean, sending your 11-year-old child to fight alien because you believe he's stronger than you, not the best choice. Though Gohan did put up a good fight at Super Saiyan 1, it wasn't until Cell was like, fuck it, I'm gonna clone myself, beat the shit out of everyone you love, and then kill this android, that Gohan just let go. Like, the transformation of Super Saiyan 2 was just, and then just seeing the normally calm Cell just get the shit beat out of him was just awesome. I even love how Gohan reflected his Kamehameha like last second. It was just great. But then when Goku told him to kill Cell, Gohan didn't care. He wanted him to suffer. And that's what led to him absorbing 18. Man, this whole fight was just emotional because Gohan we've known Gohan is this strong being. He has potential. He just doesn't know how to let it out. So he let it out this arc. Oh, what?
I was about to
What?
say, Gohan is usually that kind of guy that doesn't want to physically kill anyone. He just rather use like different joints and.
Yeah, exactly. But just this fight was so emotional. And I love Cell as a villain because while he does copy people, he's also somewhat honorable. I mean, he tries to teach Gohan that you need to be stronger, and it worked well. And the beam struggle at the end with Goku helping out was just great. Even with one arm, Gohan annihilated Cell for good. It was a great way to end the series. If they had ended it there, that would have been great, you know? As much as a joke Gohan has been, he was a badass here. He's even a badass when he's Ultimate Gohan. So, Gohan Cell is my number 7.
Let's also mention that Vegeta did help out Gohan finish off Cell.
He did,
Yeah,
because
'cause-
Cell was getting that ground until Vegeta distracted him.
Yeah,
Then again-
I was like,
then again-
damn.
Well, then again, it's also kind of Vegeta's fault that Cell became perfect. So
It's also
this is-
true,
It is
That's-
Vegeta. What did you expect?
This is his way of saying, I'm sorry
in a
for
way.
killing your father.
Number 6. All right, so this is actually not an old one I remember, but it's actually one recent show that I loved, and he who laughs last laughs the best.
And Oscar
What?
fight?
Which one? I'm so curious. Oh, Jay's not here. Go.
Yeah, it is Asuka versus Gias.
Oh,
God.
Nate, you may want to turn away from this if you want to avoid spoilers. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, man. From the moment I started watching Asuka, this was just have been some good, like, I would say there were a lot of skirmishes. There weren't really any big fights I do feel the weight until you get to episode 11.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. Even going so far to that Asuka was basically she was pushed to her heels, losing a fucking arm. Why'd you
dude.
why'd you do that to my waifu? Why?
Hey, better your waifu and not mine.
Fuck you.
Oh,
Oh my God, just knowing the idea about Gias' backstory as well. How Asuka was like peeling away his armor to see the remnants of a broken person. Oh my God!
Can we just talk about how
terrible?
If the
That's
series
a
couldn't
torturous
get any
fucking
dark, I don't know what would have.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this was just a fantastic fight. It showed the idea that this group that we've seen throughout the show, they always come out on top because of their teamwork and their power. But this one being who had led a surprise attack, was able to push them back on their heels so much.
Yeah. Like this was a battle of endurance mostly for Asuka, and it was just
Going so far to release Rapture's ultimate form twice.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Oh my God, I just so love this, and when I saw it in the manga, it was even more heart-gutching. And I can't wait to see if they're gonna do it with season 2. I really hope they up the ante with it, but the manga definitely captures the eye with how much Asuka was growing. So yes, a brand new one that had a fun, fundamental, and just really, really dark fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
Asuka-
kidding.
From Asuka versus Gias.
Oh, Brandon. Nicholas, we gotta give him a round of applause. Let's give him a round of applause. Good job, Brandon. Wow. Okay, so since Trey's not here, no, it's Nicholas next, right? Sorry.
Yep, Nicholas is next. What is your number 6?
Well, this one is technically lighter, but it's only due to the environment they're in. Yeah. Because we're going to an amusement park, boys.
Hmm?
And the main attraction is a fight between demons.
What?
Ren Okumura versus a Maimon.
For Blue Exorcist?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Blue
got it.
Exorcist.
The
Okay.
first one.
Expecting Blue Exorcist.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, let's be honest,
Dude.
okay? Let's be honest, I cut myself off before it went to shit, okay?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And there were other fights before this that I liked, but this is the first one that pushed Ren to his absolute limits, okay?
That's
I
just
mean,
the Demon King.
I know the Demon King of Earth, okay? First
Yeah.
of all, that title alone makes Maimon a badass. And 99% of the fight was him playing with Ren.
Yeah.
Which makes
He wasn't
a
taking
lot
it
of sense.
seriously.
I know. Which not only works thematically, but also environmentally because they're in a fucking amusement park.
Yeah, a Maimon's
It's
a
at the
fucking
point
troll.
that if there's any place not to take your opponent seriously, it is there.
Yes.
Ren is trying everything, just mad slash after mad slash. And Maimon either dodges or blocks all of them. And when he takes the sword, shit got real.
Yes.
Oh my god. I have never seen such anger in Ren's eyes before.
We already know
Holy
Ren is
hell.
one of the short tempers, but this.
Oh yeah. I mean forgive me for saying this, but taking the sword was pouring gasoline on an open fire. Yeah, but
That makes sense.
I'm sorry for saying that, but it is true, especially in this context.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Shura, Ren would have fucking died. Okay? If Shura hadn't shown up and scared Maimon off. You know, God, I mean, the environment was fun, the characters were fun, the action was intense. It was just a great fight. And that's where it really got to me for Blue Exorcist. Okay? And yes, Kyoto Saga, very, very good. Very, very good. But this was just my fights for me.
Yeah, no kidding.
Fair
Wow.
enough, man.
Dude, seriously, this video is actually really fun right now.
This is
I
really,
know.
really fun.
Uh,
We're gonna have to do a sequel to this someday.
okay, so since Trey's not here, Nate, you'll continue.
Yep. Go out
Okay,
to you,
so-
Trey. We'll go ahead to you, Nate. We'll go ahead and go out to Trey when he comes back.
Okay, well, number 6. Nicholas brought in Fire Force before, so I'm gonna bring it back. But which fight is my favorite?
Oh,
Sadly, Trey won't be able to hear this one because it did have a good JoJo reference. Yeah, I'm talking about Ogan Motogari versus Tempe.
Oh my
oh
God.
yeah,
Dude.
best homie, damn.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, wait,
Had
no,
two firepower, baby.
no, 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 wait, no. Oh my god.
But yeah, you were spot on about Ogun, because when Ogun first appeared, he immediately got my attention because he's that kind of best friend that you want to have. And we already get to see Ogun be a badass enough with his hoverboard and Yoruba lances. But when we get to the Chinese Peninsula arc, when we get to see that inferno, it was giving everyone a hard time until Ogun decided to get serious, take off his jacket and shirt, and activates flaming ink.
That's automatically a cool power.
Yeah.
Flaming tattoos.
And the fact that it gives him enough power to rival Leonard Burns. Oh my god, this guy, he's on a whole new level. And when we get to see him fight Tempe on par,
Oh.
it was intense. See him go wailing on that guy. And the fact that throughout most of the time, he was just buying time for Shinra.
Oh. I feel like he could have won on his own. Damn.
He probably could have. He honestly.
Would have, but he decided to be like a bro and let Shinra finish it off, so...
Ogun, man.
Yes.
Nate.
The best brother. Best brother.
Best
I-
homie, man.
I know, but back onto the fight, when we actually get to see Ogun, and I think this was probably a dub exclusive when we get to see him shout Odo 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 Odo. I was like, oh my god, they pulled a freaking JoJo on their ass.
Oh yeah.
It was amazing.
It was awesome.
Man, props to Zeno Robinson. I know that Hawks is a pretty popular role for him, but this is my favorite role that he has done as Ogun.
This is by far. This is what he should have been. What he should have been nominated for the anime
I
awards.
know. I was so sad.
Oh, yeah.
But, hey, I'm so happy that he won for Hawks. That's still good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was Hawks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, because overall, Ogun versus Tempeh, it was a really intense fight. Great build up. Very good references. And yeah, and I'm a little sad that Ogun didn't get to finish it off, but hey, he's a bro. He has to let Shinra take the spot.
Hey, Trace back.
Nice.
That's my
Trey, you'll never
Yes.
guess who. Okay, so, wait, Nicholas's. Oh wait, no, Brandon's fight was an Oscar fight, which you'll see later. And Nate had Ogun. This is the Infernal from Fire Force.
Versus Tempeh.
Oh, nice.
With the
And I
JoJo.
had.
We're on number 6.
You're on number 6, but also
You forgot me.
Nicholas
I
actually
had
had.
Rin versus a Maimon.
For Blue Exorcist.
Wait, what was yours?
Mine was Rin Okumura versus a Maimon.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
One too.
Nice. Okay, so since you're back,
All right, Trey, since you're back, we're going back to you for number 6.
All right, my number 6. Nobody's mentioned My Hero Academia yet, right?
Oh
No.
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 Oh, we're finally getting
Ooh.
it.
Yeah.
Wait,
is it-
wait.
It's a Kotsky fight. Watch.
No, it's not.
Oh,
Even though Katsuki and Izuku are my 2 favorite characters in MHA, I think this fight belongs to Horikoshi's best written character so far.
Sue?
And although some people disagree with me, I'm pretty sure everyone was hyped when they saw Endeavor fight that high-end Nobu.
Oh!
Yeah!
Endeavor-
Wow!
Man, that was
What? Of all things, Trey, Mr.
Season
Trey,
4 finale.
I
Mr.
know.
Trey Alexander, explain yourself.
I
Yes,
need to find
please.
out.
Okay, again, as you know, I sometimes read the manga ahead of the anime, and
Of course.
was no exception. And this fight, while it didn't grab my attention as much as the anime, this fight did make me pay attention to Endeavor, and I'm glad I did, because goddamn is this character fucking great. Holy hell! Like, while he is an abusive piece of shit to his children, he's no Ozai. He does legitimately care in his own way about his family. He just allowed his ambition and towards surpassing All Might to
Not too
his
prideful.
actual duties as a fighter, more or
Yes.
less. He's pretty much a stock Shonen rival gone bad. That realized he's gone bad and thankfully tried to clean up his act.
He still is.
Yes. So like it was good that throughout this entire season, or at least the second half of the season, how he's trying to think about, I'm number 1 now. I didn't earn it, and I'm not All Might, but I need to figure out how to be number 1. And more or less, this fight was that answer.
Yes.
Like, when Hood or High End, whatever you want to call him,
High
came
End.
out, that was fucking shocking. We've
Oh,
never
yeah.
seen Nomu talk before, showed
No.
up intelligence.
Yeah.
And seeing it just tear through these buildings like tissue paper, going after Endeavor, throwing him like a rag doll, it was just shocking because Endeavor, he's not weak. Like, we see his full strength on display. He is easily the strongest character with an actual natural quirk.
Right.
Yeah,
And like, while he throws everything he can at this person, at this creature, and while Hawks tries to evacuate civilians, it's still not enough. Nomu just keeps regenerating from any damage and nearly kills him.
Yeah.
Even Tiggy's he almost lost it.
Yes, and like, you should have saw some of the reactors to this fight on YouTube.
I did
So
actually.
many- Oh, I
saw
It was like jaw dropping.
Like, so many people that like hated Endeavor were like, holy shit, are they actually gonna kill him now? Like, they were legit shocked and worried for a moment there. Like,
I saw some that were actually cheering for him to die.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
but they
That's
had to been disappointed though, because we see why Endeavor chose that hero name as his name. He didn't give up at all. Even when he couldn't move his entire body, he relied on just his quirk to propel him forward
Yeah.
towards the image of victory in his head. And
Yep.
seeing Hawks in the animation, oh my god. Seeing Hawks give him his feathers while the My Hero Academia theme plays in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, Jets, you run. Oh, Jetson.
Oh my
Nah, it wasn't
God.
Jet Set Run, it was My Hero Academia.
Oh,
It
okay.
was just called My Hero Academia, but when
Wow.
he actually let out Primal
I'll
Prominence
go
Burn plus Ultra.
Like, dude, I know the Japanese voices are a lot of superior, but Patrick Sagan, the dub
Yeah.
voice actor, just
When he
Oh,
showed Prominence Burn, no.
It was all just
It
amazing.
freaking disintegrated normal.
Like, honestly, I think this, like, I know a lot of people disagree with me or hate me for saying this, but I honestly think this fight surpasses All Might versus All For One. I'm sorry.
Whoa, that's a tall order.
It's tall, but I think it's tied right there with me, to be honest.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like All Might versus All For One, it definitely has more emotional weight behind it, especially since we've known about this conflict for a while and we are all on All Might's side from the very start. But Endeavor, while we aren't on Endeavor's team at the start, we do see exactly why Fuyumi is holding out hope for this guy. And why Shoto is like, hey, I don't like you and I still don't trust you, but I'm willing to give you a chance because I see that you are actually trying to do something.
Yeah.
and he like you even see when Shoto's watching his left side's burning. I'm like, oh, it was
Oh shit,
shit.
I didn't notice that little detail. I only like
Yeah.
thank you for pointing that out.
Thank you,
Still,
welcome.
though, Shoto won't answer his father's texts.
Middle of the class. Middle of the class.
class though.
No.
But yeah, Endeavor versus High End. This was definitely the fight that got me on board with this character, and overall, just the anime elevated to a new level that the manga, although wasn't bad, just didn't have. From a choreographical standpoint. So yeah, this is my number 6.
Also,
Nice.
can we also talk about how Sox was running backwards in the
Yeah.
anime?
Oh yeah. Also, fun fact: since this is probably the only chance we're gonna get to say it, Hawks and Gojo share the same voice actor for the dub.
Oh yeah, that's right. They do.
For the sub.
I thought it was a dub.
No,
No.
dub's different.
Oh shit, it is the sub. My bad.
Idiot. All right.
So, Kevin, what do you got for your number 6?
All right, this is a team fight. A literal team fight. It's not just like the main protagonist is gonna beat them. It's just a really awesome fight. It's a fairy tale fight. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. As much as I enjoyed Natsu and Gaji versus Sting and Rogue, even I admit it loses its charm after a while. But this fight, it brought the best out of everyone. Fairy Tale versus Hades.
Yeah.
Seriously. Nice.
Yes. Like, here's the thing. What I like about this fight is everyone gets a chance to shine. Like, first it's Team Natsu against Hades. They get their asses beat. Literally, Natsu, Urza, Gray, Lucy for some reason, and Wendy. Nothing works. Then Loxus comes in for some reason. He starts beating the shit out of Hades. It's not enough, so he decides, you know what? Natsu, you're almost on my level, kinda. So I'll give you my lightning flame dragon. Oh, that was so beautiful. Even that's not enough when Hades' eye activates and all these demons come out. It's terrifying. But of all people, Happy, Lily, and Carla are the ones that save everyone by destroying the heart.
Happy Carla
XC
and
for
Lily. They stop hating.
C Squad, move out.
It's so dumb, but it's amazing that even they get a chance to shine. So seeing Hades, the usually calm, collected Hades freak out was just great. And then when Loxus punches Hades, everyone starts using their abilities. I was like, damn, like everyone's just giving it their all, hurting Hades. Because this was for Makarov, and Natsu's last attack, lightning aim sword was just
That's
awesome.
true.
Lightning of
Dragon
lightning
Flame
flame
Advanced
dragon exploding lotus flame.
Yeah, exactly. It's a long ass name, but who
Yeah.
cares? It was badass. But still, what I love about this fight is also the emotion, because Hades almost killed Makarov. He almost destroyed the fairy tale tree. It was emotional. And My God. Then after that, with Agnologia, it was awesome. So yes, Fairy Tail has hit or miss fights. This is not one of them. That's
Fair
what I'm
enough,
saying.
man.
Right.
Thank you.
We got 3 fairy tale fights on here.
Also, yeah, Natsu. Fuck you for kicking out Gajeel.
That was dumb.
It was an idiot.
Good thing I'm not doing that for Pokemon Mage.
I know.
Oh, I already did not do that with one of my stories.
All right, let's continue.
All right, so number 5.
FMA.
Full Metal.
Wait,
Full
what?
Metal.
Motherfucker. Which one?
Oh my God, the best fight. And crucify me on the internet for saying that. It was the best fight in all of anime when it came out. Scar versus King Bradley.
Oh, yes! Yes!
Number 5 though?
Number 5, yes.
Wait,
because
wait,
the
wait.
other ones are just, oh my God. I want to focus on this one though first.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
I think Nate has a mental link, right? Is it a mental link, Nate?
It's not a mental link.
Aw, I'm sorry. I can continue, Brandon.
My God, I love Full Metal Alchemist. I love Scar as an anti-hero. And when my favorite anti-hero and the big baddie went head to head, Jesus almighty Christ.
They dropped everything on it.
Hugely, the budget, the animation, the music, the voice actors, sub and the dub did a fantastic job. Just the one shot I remember still to this day is when they both charge at each other in that still frame shot. Oh my God. Oh man, it was beautiful.
I also love how it cut back to 4 with them glaring. I thought that was beautiful too.
They treated it like, yes, it was basically like a huge brawl out, but they treated it like almost like an old spaghetti western with those close-ups and just waiting to see who does the next move. They were playing mind games with each other, trying to outsmart the other to get an upper hand. Oh man, it is so hard to put into words with how this fight goes around. Plus, it's also I haven't seen it in like a long time. I'm gonna rewatch it. I probably should have in the first place.
Yeah, you should have.
But I just love the fact that it had so much emotion. That this is basically the path that Scar was on. At everything he's leading, he does it in the name of God, taking on the names that from his tattooed arm as a burden to bring it to his closure, to his redemption. And just, my God, I lost it. I lost it at the end of that fight. My brain just went wow because of the amount of emotions going through my head at that point. It was just so endearing and so just absolute animation at its best when it came out. And that's why I say it was the best anime fight ever when it came out that year with everything else. And that's why it's going on my list.
The whole fight is pretty much irony defined. The most wrathful character versus the embodiment of wrath, who dies in the most peaceful way possible.
I know, right?
Man, you get a clap for that, Brandon, but also
Yes, you got to clap for me too. Trey, clap.
Clapping.
Good.
But yeah, Nicholas, what is your number 5?
Well, it's going to be 4 for 4 for the Fairy Tail group,
Oh, really?
Okay, I got to stay and watch this.
but it's none of yours.
I know.
Yeah.
This is an extremely underrated fight, in my opinion.
Okay.
But, god damn it, was it terrifying. I mean, we've had 2 Dragon Slayers face off. Let's swap out one opponent with another. Natsu versus Cobra.
Oh,
I love that fight.
that was a good fight.
First of all, it's an aerial battle. Not something we see
I mean, Natsu
ever in Fairy Tail.
Yeah, Natsu couldn't even go on the ground if he wanted to because motion sickness.
Freaking Nirvana. And it's just borderline impossible for Natsu to land a hit on this guy because he's reading his mind via sound matching. So, what does Natsu do? He shuts off his brain and just starts throwing punches at instinct.
Yeah.
Only he could pull that off.
Let's just say the comedic moment where he could just read his mind. That was so funny. I don't need
When
to
Cobra
read his mind to know that you have fish in your brains.
No. The best one is when he reads Natsu's, and it's the stupid joke.
It's a kind of dirty joke. I don't know what it is, but damn.
I think it has something to do with Lucy's mother or something. I don't know.
Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? And Cobra finally catches a punch, and he's like, "Okay, now it's time to get serious." The coke burns off. Smoke, poisonous smoke rises, and it's revealed he's a motherfucking Dragon Slayer.
Second gen Dragon
Yeah.
Slayer.
Scientifically made.
I know.
Oh,
And
boy.
my God, the roar that changes everything. It went from a standard, hit, miss, dodge fight. It then became a fucking battle against time. Because if Natsu doesn't get healed, Natsu and Harry don't get healed, they will die from that freaking poison. And the ending is so goddamn Natsu.
Oh,
The anticlimactic
realizes,
talent is
okay.
awesome.
I know.
Okay,
Right?
here's how it's gonna go. Happy brought me above it. He falls down. Koba's like, okay, you're gonna try this minute desperate attack. And then all of a sudden he's cracked and pulls off and gets hit with a loud scream.
Oh.
Not a roar, a scream. Natsu literally overloads his senses. And that's how he wins.
Legit ringing during that singing.
Yeah.
Guys, here's the thing. I think that's also a reference to Courage the Cowardly Dog when he used his scream to beat all his enemies.
I don't
If
think
Mashima is a Courage the Cowardly Dog fan, that would be awesome.
Mine. Yeah, this fight was so goddamn interesting. There were so many moving parts to it. And can we just say this? We needed more Cobra.
Yes.
Yeah, we did. We needed
I
more
know.
of those.
I know you may not be looking at my fanfic, Nicholas, but I am gonna have Cobra have more impact in my story. So.
Same. Doing it. Same for mine. Wow. Damn. Nicholas. You know what, Nicholas?
Fairy tale fight.
Nice.
Nice.
Fairy Tail's
You get Fairy
dominating
Tail.
this video.
Trey, clap. Good.
I literally had to do an
Okay.
aqua crack because of Cracker.
Go ahead, Trey. What's your number 5?
We're going back to Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood for this one. And while it may not be the best fight, for this list, I've been trying to choose fights that you can look at and you can instantly understand what the show and series is about. And I think this fight does it perfectly. Alphonse Eric versus Pride and Kimberly.
Oh,
That is
Bro.
that is a
Alphonse?
underrated fight.
dude.
Wow.
Yay.
It's real. Edward Elric for the entire series has been saying, "My brother is a better fighter than me." And this fight shows exactly why.
Exactly.
That's the truth.
Oh my god.
Seeing Alphonse, let's talk about the lead up to this. It is one of the most epic ways to start a fight. How Alphonse doesn't have either of his legs, and he's just trying to save lives as much as he can. But then I forgot the Lion Chimera's name, but how he gives that little speech about how, although they reject Philosopher's Stones, don't use it for yourself. Use the souls inside that wish to fight for others. What an amazing speech that leads to one of the most badass ways to start a fight, with Alphonse glowing red, repaired his legs, stomping up, threatening in the most threatening way possible. His eyes are glowing red, probably with rage, as he marches out of that crater. And he just goes to town on Kimberly and Pride with that Philosopher's Stone.
That music during the time, it makes it even more intense.
I know.
Usually.
Like, my smile was as wide as Kimberly's when I saw Alphonse with his red eyes. And the fight proper, I love alchemy. I love the combat potential alchemy has. And we see it on full display through the use of Philosopher's Stone. We see Alphonse just straight up use a sword, bend it around Pride's shadows, knock Kimberly around like a rag doll while using giant stone walls to block his explosions. He even rides a freaking giant stone dragon into the air and tries to kamikaze them. And then that last trick he pulled when he used a flashbang to, well, he created decoy, then he used a normal flashbang to trap Pride. Fight seemingly over, and then we get to the part where I said, fights that encompass what the series is about. Kimberly and Alphonse's little debate with each other is the perfect conclusion to this fight.
Yes.
Kimberly, the Elric brothers have adhered to the laws of equivalent exchange. And when Kimberly throwing that back in Alphonse's face, only for Alphonse to respond with, I think that finding exceptions to that rule is how humanity can advance. Because that's the truth about humanity. We can't progress if we always stick to the rules that we set for ourselves. We have to find new ways around those rules or to even overcome them without outright breaking them. And Kimberly even self-acknowledges that. And it's also more fitting by the fact that Edward does eventually find a way around this by the end of the series.
Yeah.
Also, let me just say, I love how they show that Alphonse, who is usually a soft person, actually legit kicking some serious butt.
Yeah.
Usually,
And also-
that's what I love about this fight the most. Usually he's playing support or defense to someone else. This is the first time we see him go all out on his own.
Yep.
Mhm.
And also, we have to give it to Kimberly. I mean, he could have disagreed with Alphonse and stuff. No, he was actually respectful. I love this version of Kimberly where he's not just a murderer. He's also a thinker,
Yeah,
It's
he
amazing.
doesn't. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't disagree at all with Alphonse's philosophy or moment of truth realization. There, he acknowledges that. He also acknowledges the fact that that may not come true, and they end up all dying, which concludes with him using his own damn philosopher's stone to free Pride. Fucking hell.
Yep.
But hey, he gets a torn out throat as a result. So
Yep. And Pride needs him. So wow.
Too bad that bites Pride in the ass when Kimberly torments him.
But overall, Fullmetal Alchemist, it's filled with great fights, and I agree with Brandon that Raph versus Star is probably the best fight, arguably, in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, but this is personally my favorite fight. It was either this or probably Edward versus Greed.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that was
Alchemist
fine, man.
to the fullest during those fights.
Wait, which version? The original or Brotherhood?
The Brotherhood version.
Oh, okay.
That one, of course.
I guess
Wow.
Edward versus Greed is my favorite Ed fight, and this is probably my favorite Alphonse fight.
Wow.
Fair
Trey,
enough, man.
Trey, you got a thumbs up. You got a thumbs up. Wow.
Alrighty, Nate. What is your top 5?
Okay, well, we brought in My Hero Academia for this one. Let's bring in another shonen anime for this one. It may be recently new, but I still freaking love this fight. It's literally a 2v1. Yep, Yuji Itadori and Iwi Todo versus Kamen.
Oh!
Yes!
Fuck yes!
Not gonna lie, this was a toss-up between that fight versus Maki and Mai. That fight was also good, but this one. Let me just say the build-up to that fight, that we get to see Megumi, Komo, Toge, and Maki struggling to take out this first spirit. We see them struggling, even with the nunchucks, it wasn't enough. But when we get to see Yuji and Aoi stepped in, yeah, it started out with Yuji fighting Amini. Sorry if I keep butchering the name, it's a little hard time. But the reason why Aoi didn't step in is because he wants to see how capable Yuji is, to see if he's able to pull off the Black Flash. And we get to see the Black Flash for the first time. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Then when we get to see Aoi step in, we already know how powerful Aoi is when he fought Megumi and Yuji earlier. But this fight shows how powerful and deadly Aoi can be.
And intelligent. Usually Berserker characters are not just intelligent.
No, they're not.
He's literally Kenpachi with Izuku's brain.
Exactly.
That is a terrifying thing, Trey.
I know. And when we
He's
get
not
to
wrong.
yeah, and the fact that both of them team up, even though they met recently, they already hit it off with that sync.
They're brothers.
Exactly. And when we actually get to see Aoi unleash his curse technique, the Boogie Woogie.
Oh,
Just
Name
the
ever.
poses.
stupid-ass
The
name,
poses.
Stupid
Okay.
name.
I'm gonna. All right. Let's all do some clap poses. Oh. Okay, stop. This is so gay.
Oh my god.
This is
There's
so
nothing
gay.
gay
This is so
about
gay.
this. It's
That
Toto.
was a legit
Toto
joke.
is a man of culture. He can do
Yeah.
anything he wants and not be gay.
Those are JoJo poses, and I love it. And even though he uses like the Boogie Woogie to full extent, there are times where he can fake it out. I actually like that.
Oh yeah.
When the music kicks in, when the song plays, I was literally bopping my head
The music during
Yeah.
the whole
at the
fight.
same
All
time.
soundtracks were just incredible.
Oh, hugely.
Oh,
A
yeah.
soundtrack can make or break a fight.
Yeah.
Also,
Although-
shout out to Yuji for breaking Nanami's record.
Yes.
Yeah.
For
he
what?
Unleashed
Black
like
flashes.
4 black flashes at the same time. That was so cool.
Although I will say my favorite soundtracks was Megumi's Domain Expansion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that
that was the same one as Gojo's fight too.
Oh.
Yeah. Speaking of Gojo, yeah, Gojo did step in to finish up Hanami, but hey, overall, Yuji and Aoi, it's one of my favorite tag battles that I've seen. It's very intense, very funny at the same time, very clever, also very catchy too with the music, very intense. That's why I had to put it for number 5.
And yes, this is a JoJo reference.
You ready to go, brother?
Nice.
Thank you, best of friend.
God damn it,
sweet
so many
Jesus.
fucking
Kevin,
things.
go before I kill you.
So go for it. For kill some evil here.
All right. So everyone likes a good sword fight, right?
Yep.
But what if we had two manslayers fight each other? I'm not talking about the fight. I'm not talking about the fight with Shishio. Kenshin Himura versus Hajime Saito for Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh shit,
Rurouni
Classic
Kenshin.
right there.
Yes. Like, don't get me wrong. I did like Shishio as a villain, and I did kind of like the final fight. But the fight against Saito? Oh. First of all, the build-up. Like, we don't know who Saito is. Like, we see a police officer, and when he reveals himself later to be one of the manslayers, the Wolf of Mibu, him even telling Kenshin that he could have killed his friends, man, the initial fight was just quick. Like, just Saito's quick thrusts are amazing, even changing them midway, piercing Kenshin's chest, kicking him around, beating the shit out of him. This is the most brutal we've seen the Rurouni Kenshin fight. Okay, like, forget the fight with Shishio for a minute. This was a fight of men of the past. Like, when you see Kenshin's eyes turn yellow, the manslayer comes out, and just the amount of blood that's shed. I mean, like, Saito gets a sword chop to the neck. He gets sent to the wall. He spits out a tooth. He doesn't care. Even when his sword's broken, he uses his belt and uses his jacket to try to not choke out Kenshin, but to break his neck. Like, this was not a fight of two men in the present. This is a fight between two men in the Meiji era. Just, they didn't care about anyone. Everyone was saying stop. They didn't care. They were just brutal. Like, for a 90s anime, this was intense. Like, yes, they stopped because they had a bigger threat with Shishio, but if they had kept going, I'm pretty sure they would have both died, because that's who they are. They're killers. And it's just, I love just, this is wild. This is a wild sword fight. Like, yes, other anime like, you know, Kaisen, Fairy Tail, all that have good sword fights. This is one where I love the most. So yes, Kenshin versus Saito will always be number 5, and one of my favorite fights of Rurouni Kenshin.
Nice.
Wow, another
Rurouni
classic.
Kenshin.
I know, a classic. I know. Thank you.
All
Ooh,
right, so number 4. Time to take a break from all the over-the-top punches and like power-ups we all see in that. What if you had a battle with your mindsets, trying to outsmart one another?
Wait,
And this
what?
one is actually came up with the biggest plot twist I've ever seen from a godlike English dub anime.
Wait, what?
The Lucy Britannia versus Schneisel.
Oh my god, Nate!
God.
Of all things, Nate's always the one to jump first. Then again, it's Code Geass, so
It's Code Geass. Even though there's not really like, it's a war. Let's just get this out of the way. It's more of a war. You don't really have many good fights, but it's the idea between Lelouch and his brother Schneisel. The idea of how to outsmart one another. Basically playing war with lives on the line like a game of chess.
Literally.
That's all it is. And we started to get this idea from when their first meetup again. When Schneisel, you kind of tell he knew Lelouch was Zero by his playing style. He kind of knew who he was. But it wasn't until when we get to Code Geass R2 and the whole idea when trying to take down that massive station so Lelouch can gain control of it to conquer the world.
Yeah, to see who will be the new emperor, Lelouch or Schneisel.
Oh my god, this Code Geass just makes me question every single moment about what the characters are planning to do. Who's gonna come out on top? Who's gonna actually fall from grace? And Schneisel almost had it in the bag. But Lelouch, being Lelouch, always thinks 2 steps, even 10 steps ahead of his opponents. And how he was able to use his Geass on Schneisel to basically win the war.
I love the fact that they built that up too. Schneisel, who is one of the smartest villains in anime, who was always beating Lelouch, and Lelouch finally able to use Schneisel's advantage and turn it against him.
Yep. Oh my god, when Lelouch gained control of the Damocles after that fight, the music and the monologue, Johnny Young Bosch, you my dude.
Man, Johnny Young Bosch and Troy Baker, man.
Oh my god, it was a change of pace from the whole Rock'em Sock'em like explosive galore power up anime fights we see in anime now these days. It was a step in a new direction to know that you can use your brain as your main weapon. And these two have definitely used it. Lelouch and Schneisel take the number 4 spot from Code Geass.
Brandon, nice. I didn't think we were gonna get in Code Geass. That surprised me.
Well, I had to. It's a godlike anime. So, Nicholas, what is your number 4?
All right. So far as I know, we've had heroes versus villains, correct?
Yep.
What am I in this entire list? What happens if it's villain versus villain? Yeah, I know people don't like this current volume, but number 4 for me is Raven Vonman versus Cinderfall in Volume 5 of Ruby.
I came back just to hear that.
Only good thing about Volume 5, a maiden versus a maiden.
Subjective, but first of all, the twist. Holy hell. I mean, some people didn't like it. I don't know how, but it makes complete sense to me.
Wait, people didn't like that Raven was the spring?
Yeah, people didn't like that.
Honestly, it's why she has a map.
Some people feel like it came out of nowhere, but I felt it was pretty well foreshadowed to me.
Yeah.
Because of the mask.
Yeah. The mask, and every time Vernal seemed to be using her powers, Raven was just was either next to her or slightly lowering her own hand, just to feed on the illusion.
Plus, she had the mask to cover the eyes.
Exactly, and my God, it just starts off right away. They both fly at each other, swords in hand, and the swing, and then crack Cinder's grim arm stabbed through.
That dialogue between them.
Yeah,
you turned yourself a monster just for power.
Shut up! And then it just gets more and more intense. And I love how they actually swap weapons for a little bit. That's just crazy. But hands down, the coolest shot in that fight. When they summon their giant freaking swords.
That was really Stalag versus Caliber right there.
I know. And then the music kicks up. All things must die.
Oh, that was
I mean, it's a great, not only is it a great song, the choreography is just insane. They're fighting on falling stalactites.
They legit pull a bayonetta.
I know, it's crazy. And they finally crashed. Both of their oars are broken. But not, and in one of the few times that I've seen, one doesn't win because they're stronger or faster. One wins because they're smarter. I mean, Cinder, next time make sure the girl is dead.
Just like Watson's Roast in Volume 8. You don't have to be strong, you have to be smart.
Exactly. And I mean, Nate said it best. It's just two maidens going at it. Which means magic, which means they can have all the fun they want. Because it is insane. I mean, that fight was so goddamn good, they copied and pasted in a death battle. Come on! That's just awesome. That is one of my favorite Ruby fights. So that's my number 4.
It's honestly makes me don't mind. I don't really mind Raven that much.
Me either.
I really don't.
The Raven.
Fuck her.
I probably will someday.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Fuck you.
Trey. No, thank you. Trey, what do you got for number 4?
All right, my number 4 is let's give a shout out to the OG king of anime fights, Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay. Which
Bitch,
one?
what?
Yes, and some people may disagree with me on this, but my personal favorite fight was Son Goku versus Majin Vegeta.
Oh,
Yes, Trey,
dude.
yes.
Fight.
Trey, don't even feel ashamed, okay? Don't even feel ashamed.
Do not. That is an emotional fight. Talk about it, dude.
It is literally okay. It's pretty much a rematch. It is literally the rematch we've all been waiting for. It is the original fight we had in the Saiyan Saga, except with a lot more episodes of build up in between and Super Saiyans. You cannot get any better than that. And honestly, though, the build up to this fight, though, within the arc itself, seeing Vegeta get slowly more and more frustrated as they go through Babidi's goons, how he starts complaining to Goku and Gohan of how they're wasting their time and shit. And some of his arguments actually have valid criticisms, like Gohan slacked off in his training, and we're in a world-ending event. You kind of fucked up there.
Yeah, Vegeta, he's an asshole, but he's not wrong.
Exactly. And he honestly just all he wanted was a chance, one more opportunity to fight Goku because Goku's dead. He's never going to get another chance. And this frustration slowly festers and boils over until Babidi even takes notice and more or less gives him the power that Vegeta kind of always wanted, reawakens the evil lying within his heart, turning him into Majin Vegeta while raising his power to even higher levels. And it's not as though Vegeta was weak to begin with either. Like at this point, he was almost on par with Gohan as he was during the Cell Saga. And that's freaking impressive. And seeing Vegeta though wipe out all those people in the World Tournament, holy hell, that was a sign that he is absolutely serious about this.
Yeah, he's like not holding back.
And Goku was just as serious. Like he even threatens the Supreme Kai to get the fuck out of his way or else he'll probably even kill him at that point. This is just how serious it is for the both of them. Yeah. And the fight is even more bloody. It's just brutal as hell. Like one of my favorite scenes is when Vegeta manages to manipulate his energy to restrain Goku to a boulder and just starts wailing at him. And then Goku has to force his way free and uses the boulders as sledgehammers. And another favorite moment of mine is when there was this quick little exchange where they're on the ground, they're constantly tripping each other up while trying to blast each other with energy. And there was this one moment where they managed to trip each other up at the same time and just smile at each other. Even though the stakes are high in this fight and Goku does want to end this as soon as possible, he's enjoying this just as much as Vegeta.
Yeah.
This really was a fight that was a long time coming, and they didn't waste any effort or energy into anything else. And the only sad thing about it, we didn't get a conclusion from this.
It just ended in a tie, I think.
Yeah, like if you
In a
want to
way,
get
yeah, I think Vegeta still won in a way, but yeah, it was no satisfying conclusion to it.
yeah, like honestly, I think the way it was going, I think Vegeta probably could have forced Goku to go into Super Saiyan 3 just to end the fight.
If he wanted to.
Yeah, but overall, though, even though it didn't have a conclusion, this was just a very great rematch between these two characters with a rivalry that's as classic and well beloved even to this day. Honestly,
Yeah.
if they ever do another Goku versus Vegeta fight again, I think it would be hard to top this because there was just so much more emotion built into it. Like Vegeta being frustrated and always being a step behind Goku and probably never having a chance to prove his superiority over him, and Goku just realizing the amount of lengths that Vegeta is really willing to go to just to be seen as strong. It's just, you can't really copy that once again.
No, you can't.
Like, this is probably like I'm gonna make another My Hero comparison. This was probably the Deku versus Kachan round 2 fight before it was even Deku versus Kachan.
Fair enough, man. Holy crap. Wow.
A rival fight. Another one.
What do you got for that one, Nate?
Okay, well, we talked about one rival fight. Let's talk about another one. And Trey kind of mentioned it when he was talking about it. My favorite fight in My Hero Academia is Izuku versus Bakugo in season 3.
Wow!
Ooh.
Wow!
Whoa!
Yeah,
Wow!
do not get me wrong. All Might versus All for One. It was an emotional fight, but Izuku versus Bakugo to me, it was a pretty personal level if you really think about it. Pretty personal.
Hugely, man.
We see Bakugo finally putting the pieces together and finding out that Izuku has All Might's quirk. And the fact that he felt guilty about what happened to All Might, he, instead of just like talking it out like normally, they decided like to do it like the old rival way. They decided to face each other head on. And the fact that Izuku was so hesitant, and when he knocked Bakugo down at first, he asked if he was okay, and my god, the breaking point for Bakugo, when he broke down, and when he admitted that he felt guilty for All Might losing his power. My heart sank during that.
Honestly, people have compared that to like Spider-Man levels of guilt right there. Like, this is just survivor's guilt at its finest.
I know. Yeah. And that was like the moment that changed my opinion on Bakugo. That made me like, wow, there's actually more to Bakugo. Like, he does feel more emotions other than anger. And when Izuku saw that guilt, he decided to go along with the fight and goes all out against Bakugo during that time. It was just insane seeing both of them. They both idolize the same hero, and they wanted to see which ideals is better, like protecting people or just all about like strength. It was pretty intense, even to the point that Izuku has to go at 8%. He went up 1% for that fight.
He didn't even notice it. That's how into this fight he really was.
Yep.
Exactly. It was just intense. And that final part of the fight, I won't lose to you! When he grabs Izuku and fires an explosion in the air, propelling him down and pinning him down. It was literally like Goku versus Majin Vegeta. Like, it's very similar to that in terms of emotions. And even though Bakugo did win, he did ask Deku why did he lose. Like, he wants to know why.
I honestly think, this is my personal opinion going off of how Katsuki was during that time, I think he kind of, not necessarily wanted, but expected Izuku to win. Because Izuku was the one All Might chose to be a successor. He was the one constantly succeeding and improving while Katsuki's always falling a step behind in regards to their progress as a hero. So he's thinking like, okay, I'm going to fight him one last time. He's probably going to kick my ass and I'm going to be wrong. And it's like, I beat you. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was like a total 180 of what Bakugo expected, but man, that was a really intense fight. And it definitely led up to Bakugo going on the right path, starting to become a better rival, starting to become a better person, and slowly building up on how to be a proper hero.
Yeah, as All Might said, this is the beginning of a true rivalry between the two of them.
Exactly. And though I will admit, when Bakugo and Izuku were bickering in the background, I did chuckle at it a bit because their expressions just looked so comical.
Oh yeah, it's those two. The jokes write themselves.
I know. But yeah, overall, Izuku versus Bakugo, it's easily one of my favorite fights in My Hero Academia. One of the best rival fights I've seen. Definitely has great emotions, great animation, great intensity, and it really shows what a clash of ideals is. That's why I had to put it for number 4.
Respect,
Nice.
respect, brother.
So My Hero making a comeback, trying to dethrone Fairy Tail for our most talked about fights.
Why?
So what do you got for number 4, Kiv?
All right, before I say this, Nate, you might want to leave. This is a spoiler.
Asuka spoiler or
Railgun spoiler.
oh.
Yep. Maybe Trey should leave. I don't know. Like,
Nah, it's fine. I'm gonna plan on reading the visual knowledge before I start watching the show. So it'll be
okay,
fun.
so everyone likes, Toma versus Accelerator. A lot of people like Toma and Sojita versus Mystica. But the fight that Railgun T brought that was so awesome, Makoto Mystica versus Doppelganger.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yes,
Dude.
that made me love her. Like, we all knew like she was a level 5, but we never knew how strong she could really be. But with Doppelganger with Doppelganger copying certain abilities, Miska had to use everything. So taking all the Iron Sand she could, basically making a kaiju to fight Doppelganger's kaiju. It was so freaking awesome. Like, it's covered with electricity. It's following what Misaka's doing. It's awesome. Like, the amount of damage they do is intense. Even to the point where she uses railguns to destroy giant oil tankers. Like, that's insane. And their fight on the blimp? Wait a minute, this is the second fight on the blimp. I just realized that, Nicholas. Think about it.
I'm
That's
not
true.
denying that.
Yeah, exactly. But it was so great that Doppelganger tried to get up on Misaka, and Misaka always showed that she is stronger. That's why she's ranked number 3. But god damn, there's an emotional tension in there because Doppelganger, in a way, is kind of like a Misaka sister, It's a living being, and it's just like she doesn't want to kill it. She wants to help. But in the end, she had to use a railgun because Doppelganger was going to kill her original creator, and she couldn't do it. So overall, this fight basically gave us more of Misaka, basically showing her true potential. And I hope we get season 4 because there's still stuff in the light novels we haven't gotten. So
Yes.
and it's just like, it was great because here's the thing: Toma wasn't there, none of the others were there. It was just her. And so yeah, for Railgun T, Misaka versus Doppelganger. Okay, Nate, come back. Thank you. You didn't hear much, right, Nate?
Nah, not really.
Okay, good.
All right, guys. It's the big leagues now. The top
The
3.
big 3. Ooh.
Oh
God.
boy, how can I start it off?
I don't know.
Judging by from the color I'm wearing, Black Clover.
Oh, gone.
Which one though?
Ooh.
And now, Elf, I shall have you
Oh
take
my
the step of
God.
despair like he did back then.
Of course.
Asta and Yuno versus Zagred.
It wasn't just them, it was everyone.
It was
Yeah.
everyone,
Oh,
man.
versus Zagreus.
Ooh.
Yami got involved at last second.
I love it too.
Oh my god,
Explain, Brennan, please.
this fight, Jesus. Oh my goodness gracious me. Talk about horror and action collaborating.
Oh yeah.
The visuals are just something out of a horror movie. The abilities that Zagred has to use. I was literally just like, what the hell is this? When I saw like almost like a wall of like moving, like I think it was like leeches or something like that, like moving around.
I don't want to know what it was.
I don't know what they were. I don't even want to know. But I was just moved by how both Asta, Yuno, Patrice, Yami, and like everyone had to take this guy down. And this guy was a lower level devil. He was not even close to the top.
Weakest.
He was one of the weakest ones.
He was a freaking scout.
And he's putting this much of a fight with the characters.
I'm legit scared considering where Black Clover is right now in the manga. I'm legit scared.
I was just the animation, the music, and plus there was a shot I loved with Asta in his black form. I think it was it Yuno in the like the glow one?
Spirit died.
Yeah.
Spirit
How they
mode.
both came in to like slice at Zagred, and he's trying to hold back the blades going through them and just letting out this roar. Oh my god, this is why I love Black Clover. It's the reason why. Because of Zagred's presence that they had throughout the series. I just, oh my gosh, and I didn't know they could top this, but the last fight of the anime came really, really close. It came really, really close.
Oh yeah, Asta for sleeping. That was intense.
It was awesome. I really hope they take their time with the manga to get enough ahead so they can come back and give us more of the anime.
That's probably why they're giving us a movie.
Possibly. We'll see. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do. And I love the reason why I love Black Clover is also because of Zagred is one of my favorite villains. So yeah, Black Clover is now finally making its way, but here at the top 3.
Nice.
Quality over quantity, my friend.
Yeah. So what is your who's your bronze, my friend?
All right. My hero.
Is that Tomura's glove?
No, stupid. It's for drawing.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, those gloves. All right, but my
There
hero.
are a lot of good fights. We've touched on a lot. But I think my personal favorites, Deku versus Overhaul.
You son of a bitch! It's on my list. You
It's
son
on
of a
my
bitch.
list too.
I mean, mother. First of all, Overhaul's power is just broken.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah, that guy's broken by all belief.
It's literally
Patch him
Full
next
Metal
match.
Alchemist weaponized.
Hey, that's what I was gonna say.
It's like Scar's power, but brought to the max. If you think about it.
I can imagine. First of all, Hizuka's pulling this all off, while Eri is strapped to his back.
Mm.
So he has to be extra careful not to get hit. Speaking of Eri, can we just talk about how insane this is? She's rewinding Izuku, who's timed so before, you know how it is. So he figures, okay, if this goes on too long, I will lose All for One forever. So what does he do? He decides, okay, I'll just go 1,000% of my power and
It was
break every
100%.
bone I have constantly just so I can keep myself alive.
Yeah.
It's
I know what's
insane.
really cool about that though? By the end of the fight, it's implied that Eri actually managed to overpower One for All.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, can we just say that Izuku looks badass and 100% like the
Oh yeah, the glowing hair.
Super Saiyan.
He went Super Saiyan. They went Super Saiyan and One Punch Man in that fight.
I know. And speaking of which, Overhaul's monster form.
Oh sweet Jesus.
Again, that looks like straight out of Resident Evil or any horror
Oh
game.
yeah, it was terrifying.
Until
I mean,
Izuku kicked him straight up into the air.
Yep.
to avoid collateral damage. Let's be honest here. If Bakugo was there, he'd just try to blast him off. And
The crater would have been huge by now. It would have been the size
crater-
of
no. Here's what he would have done. He would have pulled the pin, fired that beam of nitro sweat, and destroy everything 1,000-mile range.
Yeah, he would have just done that.
He would have. It's Bakugo. He would have done it.
It's
I mean,
Bakugo.
did you see what he did in season 5, episode 1?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That was fucked up.
Or I'm cheeky though.
And I mean, he wasn't One Punch Man in that fight. Izuku was One Punch Man. Because he just kicked the shit out of him. It was awesome. And I love that overall finally got his fucking comeuppance. That guy deserved every bit of it.
Everything, and then the ending when with Shigaraki.
Well, that was more icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Like my
Also-
favorite villain cutting off the hands of my least favorite villain. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic
gotta
fight,
say,
and just
my-
goddamn shows how much Izuku grew from season 1 to now. Well, then,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you know what I mean.
Hugely, man.
Also, the
That's
song-
my number 3.
What were you gonna say, Nick?
Nice.
I was
No,
about to
no,
say-
I'll talk about the song later. I know Nate was gonna talk about the song, but I'll
Okay.
talk about it.
All right.
All right, Trey.
All right, Trey. Who's your bronze?
all right. It's fitting that we're in the top 3 right when I'm going to bring in a fight from the original big 3 of shonen anime.
Son of a bitch.
Of course, I'm talking about my favorite, One Piece.
Okay.
One.
And it is probably the fight that pushed Luffy to his physical limits, even more so than his fight with Katakuri. One that has not been topped yet, in my honest opinion. Monkey D. Luffy versus Rob Lucci of CP9.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, yes, I say this, it pushed him to his physical limits because Luffy, honestly, he couldn't even fucking move a finger, not even a pinky toe. After that, all he could do was talk. And when you watch the entire fight, its entirety, you see why.
Yeah.
Like, Lucci was not a force to be reckoned with. Like, they keep saying that Luffy's a rubber person. And then Lucci decided, you know what? Let's just see how much you can stretch during the entire fight. He's been using nothing but like blunt force and his own techniques and skill, along with his devil fruit, to beat the shit out of Luffy. And he almost won. Like, from the very beginning, we see the difference between them. How Luffy tries to score a kick straight on his head after he busts through the doors, and Lucci just casually blocks it. And he just keeps landing blows on Luffy, and Luffy tries to hit him in return, but he just keeps using his own techniques to deflect everything he has, forcing Luffy to use Gear Second. And at this point, Luffy's control for Gear Second wasn't good. Like, unlike after the time skip, whenever he used Gear Second, like Lucci said, he's lowering his own lifespan. He's pretty much like just repeatedly doping himself at this point. Every time he uses it, he's actively killing himself while getting the beat down on him. So he's really putting everything on the line in this fight, especially after the first time when Lucci uses his Six Kings attack, which pretty much like would rupture the organs of a normal person. And Luffy still managed to get up and use his Gear Second again to try to keep fighting. He even busts out Gear Third. And I'm sorry, even though some people probably don't put it as their favorite, let's be real, having a giant fist flying at you would be fucking terrifying. It shattered the entire fucking building when he hit Lucci with it. Nearly broke both of his legs too. And seeing him still use it while tearing through that ship and deflecting bullets off of his chest like he was Superman, it was like, holy shit, Luffy, what the hell? You just upgraded. But then when Luffy's lying in a pool of his own blood on the ground and the fight's seemingly over, Usopp comes in. And even after their conflict at that time, he's like, get the hell up! You have to save Robin! You promised us that, remember? And Luffy he finds one more chance. He gets his third win at that point, and just throws everything he has left on at Lucci. He's literally vomiting, not spitting or coughing. He's vomiting buckets of blood at this point, but he still finds the strength within him to not only to beat Lucci with one last jet Gatling. And let me tell you, listening to you say run while watching that is probably one of the most amazing things you could ever experience.
Also, I have to say this. Major props to Colin Klinkenbeer or Jason Liebrick during that fight. It was impressive.
Oh, absolutely. Like, English dub and sub in that fight was just... the emotions were on point, and that is exactly what I love about One Piece. In almost every single fight it has, the emotions are always running high. There's always some level of stakes, no matter what opponent Luffy and the Straw Hats are facing. And the thing that was on the line was a member of their own crew, Robin, to keep her from going away forever and being executed for a crime she didn't even commit. This was just perfect in my honest opinion. Like, this was the first time we see the Straw Hats really go up against the world government, and what a way for them to have their first real conflict with them. Bro, this is my number 3 fight. Like, I watched this fight so many times over the years, ever since I got into One Piece, that there's a reason why Luffy's one of my favorite characters of all time, and this fight is a true example of that.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. What do you got for that one, Nate? What is your bronze?
Okay, for number 3, Brandon mentioned Black Clover, but I'm gonna go with a different fight that got me legit hype. Honestly, around the beginning of the time, I wasn't getting into Black Clover, but this fight and this arc turned it around for me. That's when it changed my mind about Black Clover. I'm talking about the Black Bulls versus Veto.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow. Veto.
Yeah, I know. The
That was
fight
the
was
despair
Zagreus
guy,
was
right?
sick.
Oh wait, what, Trey?
That was the despair guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm just making sure.
Mhm.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, the Zagreus fight was really good. I enjoyed that fight, but the Veta one, it was very personal to me because it was the reason that changed my opinion on Black Clover in the first place. 'Cause, damn, it was not just that fight. The whole Seabed Temple arc just changed my opinion on the whole series. It was just amazing. And let me just say, the setup for that fight was very interesting. We see Veto, who was able to keep up with one of the captains. It was just terrifying of what Veto can do. And the fact that he took out like the head priest of the Seabed Temple, and even overpowering and knocking out both Luck and Magna.
At the same time, too.
Yeah, and after they give everything they had with that spell, it was... Oh god, this guy's even more terrifying than I thought. And even though when Asta, Noel, Kyato, and Kahano stepped in, it still wasn't enough. Heck, he literally crippled both Kyato and Kahano.
Shout out to Noelle, though, who probably pulled off like her first real badass moment in the series.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that
yeah.
big ass
That's why I
dragon.
love her, man.
That was like, yeah, and that was like the first moment with Noel that was like, oh my god.
Okay.
She's not a basic ass tsundere. She's
He's
more.
not a Sakura.
Yeah, fuck you, man.
He's a tsundere who can launch giant water dragons in your face. Yes.
But yeah, but when Asta gets back and took over for the fight, and of all people, Vanessa and Finral step in for the fight. I also love that builder because we have Finral, who's a bit of a coward and very flirty, actually got the courage to do it. Even though he's only doing it because Vanessa took advantage of it. It's like, if you help us, I'll give you a hug if we win.
Well, to be fair, it's probably the only hug he's ever gotten in his life.
That is true. I know people are gonna give me weird looks, but it's one of the reasons why I kind of like that ship, to be honest. But anyway, when we actually get to see Vanessa, Finral, and Asta fight against Veto, it was amazing to see what they could do with their magic. Asta going under physical, Vanessa helping out with maneuverability, and Finral helping out with support.
I mean, that's just creative right there.
That's the thing. That's actually one of the pluses to Black Clover's power system, and how, like, despite how different its magic system is from each other, it really finds good ways to interact with each other. Like, you can take powers that thinking don't make sense and make it work, like in this fight.
Yeah, and it complements very well. And even when Veta was able to knock it down, when Asta finally gets up, and we saw a glimpse of his black form.
Oh.
I mean, you want to talk about a tease.
Yeah, and when the first opening played, Kevin knows my reaction to this. I was legit hype.
Oh yeah.
I was legit hyped seeing Asta, Vanessa, and Finro using every last aspect of whatever magic power they had left to take down Veto. In the final shot when Asta shouts him, "Despair! This is
This is what you lose.
And it was black and white like in the manga. Oh,
it was just beautiful. It was just intense. And also, I love the final part of the fight where Veto was about to self-destruct to take everyone down with him. Yami broke free out of that prison, just walks up to it, and uses
Dark Cloud
Dark
Dimension Splash.
oh.
Damn.
That
That is
was
Awesome
beautiful.
move.
Everyone pushed past their limits that night.
They
Yep.
Usually.
It was
Oh,
It sounds like something. Like,
it's literally up to Yami's ideals. It was just amazing. This was like, at the time, I was like very iffy about like the Chris Sabat thing after like the whole situation, but it was thanks to his performance as Yami during that scene, and yeah, Dr. Watts as well. It was my moment where I was like, all right, Chris Sabat, you kind of forgive. I kind of forgive you. So there was that. But, but enough of that. But overall, Black Bulls versus Veto. It was the fight that got me invested in Black Clover in the first place. Changed my opinions about everything. It was intense. Even the animation was like pretty good, I had to admit.
mm-hmm.
And it was just like overall hype. That's why I had to put it for number 3.
Nice.
Nice. What do you got for your bronze there, Kevin?
Oh yeah, it's my turn.
Yeah.
It was a fight you mentioned. Ichigo versus Ulquiorra.
Back to Bleach.
Yes.
Yep.
Like, I know again, sub sometimes is better, but the dub, like, just the way Ichigo roars as his Vastalorde form was just awesome. And Brandon kind of forgot to mention this. Ichigo and Ulquiorra are rivals. I
Yes.
mean, Ulquiorra killed him twice. He's the one of the few anime villains to have killed the protagonist. Like, fuck plot armor, I'm gonna kill you. Like, oh yeah, all 3 original big 3, yeah! Hey! Okay, but anyways, yes, just, I love how interesting it is. I love when Ichigo catches Ulquiorra off guard, but I love how Ulquiorra, even though he's number 4, he's considered one of the strongest. Like, it was just a true rival battle. And even after Ichigo shoots a point-blank Sero and damages Ulquiorra, he doesn't want to finish him off. He never wanted to finish him off as a hollow. He wanted to finish him off as him. So, Ulquiorra, while it may have seemed like he was disappointed, in a way, you could say he respected Ichigo for that. And I'm not gonna lie, his death scene was, I got choked up because Ulquiorra is just one of my favorite characters in the series.
Villain.
Yeah, Ulquiorra is by far one of the best characters they had there.
And okay, crucify me. I don't care. Ulquiorra and Orihime make a better ship. I'm
A
sorry.
lot of people are gonna argue Stockholm syndrome for you, dude.
Yeah. What's Stockholm syndrome? I never.
You
Pretty
never
much
heard
how
of
you in
Stockholm.
Joker when you start to sympathize and on occasions fall in love with your kidnapper or a criminal. So Harley Quinn and Joker.
Yeah, true.
Except
Yeah,
this one makes
Yeah, well,
sense.
fuck them. All right. I like Ichigo and Rukia. Fuck them. All right. So yeah, that's my number 3.
Okay, fine.
Wow, big, old and new big 3 getting in here. Nice.
Oh
Indeed.
yeah.
Old
Old
and
and new.
new.
And then there's One Piece.
He's not gonna let that go. All right, so
This is the guy that never ends.
my number 2, huh?
Yep.
Semifinals. What's it gonna be?
You're not alone.
You,
There's no one.
Brandon.
Deku
Brandon.
versus Overhaul.
Brandon.
Oh my god!
Brandon.
Mental Link, buddy.
Oh.
Yeah, Mental Link.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Wait,
What
this
do you mean? No, it's my number 2 too.
Oh my god! I thought he was talking about me.
Oh my
No,
God.
fuck you, Nicholas.
First mental link of the video. I just realized that.
Probably only one, but continue,
We
Brandon.
shall see. My God, My Hero Academia. They have not had a single fight that I did not like. at all. But this is the one that pushed it over the edge. The emotion, the animation, Might You, the music. Just hearing that first course of the play as Deku reaches out for Eri, and she's actually gripping onto Mirio's cape, and she jumps to him. Oh my god, I cried. I was literally crying during that fight. It was so emotional, so heart-wrenching. And yes, like I said before, it turned into One Punch Man when I saw like Deku's like a bunch of fists in the sky, like, what the fuck did this come from?
You took a page out of Saitama, that's what happened.
I know, right? But it's just one of those moments that, yes, muscular we know pushed Deku like physically to the limits. Overhaul did physical, but also emotional and psychologically to the limits.
The fact that he like beat Mirio and Night Eye too.
This was the moment that I knew that My Hero was not screwing around when they came out with this. They are not screwing around anymore. I mean, they took a bit of a break with the last half of season 3.
And the start for season 5, so.
Yeah, but where the manga is right now, they are not slowing down with how dark it can get. I love this show so much, and it has some of the best well-done characters and best choreographed fights that you can watch over and over and over again. This is one of them. As much as I love All Might and All for One, this is my favorite, absolute favorite fight in My Hero Academia. And that's why it's my number 2.
Can I just point out that I like how none of us have All members All for One, even though that's considered one of the best fights in the series.
It's actually an honorable mention for me.
I think it's probably because, like, although we love that fight, it really devolves into All Might and All for One, just trying to see who can punch each other harder, really.
In a way, yeah.
Well, the other fights that we mentioned, it's like, it gets more emotional, in my opinion, so.
Yeah. Anyways, Nicholas, what is your number 2?
Number two. That, my friends, would belong to Tomokami Joe versus Accelerator.
You
Hey, which
I'm
version,
sorry.
Index or Railgun?
What do you think? The full version.
So Railgun.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
sure,
Railgun.
whatever.
Wow. Nicholas, do you want my respect more? Because you already have it. What the heck? Wow.
Hold up.
Hey, that's when the world turns upside down.
Wait, let's listen to what this God has to say.
First of all, I mean the plan is fucked up to begin with. Okay. The
yeah.
Plan,
Oh,
who's the psycho who comes up with it? Oh yeah, it's the guy from season 3.
Gensei Kihara.
Yeah, against the Kiara.
Woo-hoo, woo-hoo.
Fuck him.
No, yeah.
Fuck
Nate,
him.
Nate, trust me, you're gonna despise this man even more.
You
in
will
season
hate
3.
I already hate him from like season 1 from the glimpse of it. I'm worried that hate is gonna grow.
It will.
Oh yeah. I mean, Thomas' plan is insane to begin
Oh
with.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, how about me? If a level 0 beats him, then that means he's not the strongest. Dude, he could kill you with a blink of an eye.
Yes.
You're still gonna go out there. That's insane.
And I'm sorry, I have to point this out also. He also got hurt by Misaka. And yet he still went to fight.
And
Yeah.
that's right, he always comes into the fight injured. Jesus. I mean, Accelerator's powers just, they are so goddamn broken.
I know, right?
Yeah. That's why he's best boy.
Yeah, he's wait.
I mean, it is the most broken power in the entire world. And
Yeah,
that is
Vector-
saying something.
Yeah.
It is literally called Imagine Breaker for a reason.
No.
Yeah.
Toma is the Imagine Breaker. Accelerator is vector control. You can change the flow
Oh,
of
shit, I thought he
direction.
was talking about Toma for a moment. I'm sorry.
No. Toma's power is cool, but it's got too big of a price to pay.
Yeah.
I don't want all my luck canceled out. Vectors are just terrifying. I mean,
No kidding.
he's throwing train cars, iron, chunks of stone. He's even bending his own body and making him hit himself. It is just crazy. And then when Misaka jumps in, that's the opening he needs.
Yes.
And he takes it.
Oh.
Yeah.
At that point, let's be honest. At this point, we all fucking hated Accelerate.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we hated him at that point.
So it was so satisfying to watch him get
Yes.
again and again and again. It's awesome. And this is why I love anime, because only in anime can a guy with no powers beat a guy with the most broken ability in the history of ability. It's just awesome.
It was so amusing and so.
I know. And also, let's point this out. It caused character growth for the villain. He turned him into an anti-hero. That's all.
Yeah, and it made one of the best spin-offs of that series. So
It's literally the best spin-off of that series.
we're still waiting for season 2. Nicholas, thumbs up.
Dude.
I gotta be honest. I think this is my best list ever, which is pretty goddamn sad.
Yes.
Same.
Yes,
It's probably my best list right now, too.
I'm enjoying the list I made.
Yeah, this list. Okay, Trey, you're next. Can you do something better than Nicholas or no? I
Oh
doubt
yeah,
it.
Nate, you mentioned Mahito. So of course I gotta choose number 2 to be Yuji Itadori and Kento Nanami versus Mahito in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes, buddy.
Fine, but damn, that made me rage.
Trey, if I was with you, man, I would bro hug you so much right now, man.
Okay, can we just all agree to do this? Fuck you, Mahito.
No,
Fuck that.
If I have more hands, I would do multiple middle fingers.
Nicholas, trust me, you have no idea how much I'm
gonna hate me even more.
Wait,
You are not prepared.
You're not.
yeah. See,
But-
no. Here's the thing, Nicholas. I'm sorry, Trey. I didn't interrupt. Remember that chat I had with Trey about quitting Jujutsu Kaisen? It's because of Mahito. Trust
Oh
me.
my god.
You'll see what.
Yes.
It's
I
not
was
even
that
because of any
close.
writing inconsistencies. He's a really good villain, but he's so good that he makes you want to drop the series.
Yes.
So continue, Trey.
But look, my experience with JJK is like this is probably my favorite shonen right now of all time. Probably.
Agreed.
Dang.
Yeah.
I can't really recall a time I've been really this invested since like Full Metal Alchemist or when I first got into Fairy Tail. Like when I was reading this fight, like the way it was said with Junpei, like as we were, you probably all thought he was gonna stick around. You all thought Yuji was gonna like convince him to turn to the light, and then Mahito was gonna show up. They were gonna team up on Mahito, drive him away. Like that's how shonen would usually go. You would expect that from something like Black Clover or Fairy Tail or Naruto. You'd expect that, but no. Mahito just walks in and just calls Junpei an idiot, and just uses his idol transformation to deform him. And I was just like, holy shit. And seeing Yuji just struggle to keep Junpei down, begging Sukuna to just do anything to save him. Sukuna just laughs in his face with Mahito. It was just a fucking chill and gut punch at the same time.
I know Trey and Kevin knows about this since they were watching the episode with me. My reaction for that, I was like,
Nate was done.
"Well, that son of a bitch, right now."
Clincher for me though, in that moment, was like it always gets me when Junpei just asked in his last words to Yuji, "Why?" Like that could have been anything. Like, why did this happen to me, or why couldn't you save me, or whatever you want to think of it. Just the simple word "why" just got to me in that moment, which is why it was so fucking unexpected, but also satisfying seeing Yuji just punch Mahito in his stupid fucking face up in his stairs. And seeing Mahito's bragging about how you can't hurt me, but then his nose just bleeds, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yuji was ready to kill them.
Looking at Yuji in that moment, in that scene where he says like, "I'll kill you." Normally when we see a shonen protagonist rage like that, it's because of whatever power they have inside them making them lose control. No, that's all Yuji. That's just how angry and that's just how angry and distraught he is. Like, even though he is his ideals of valuing life and not wanting to take one, he is still a teenager, and he was pushed to his emotional limits in this moment to the point where he just wanted to kill, not exercise, kill the very thing in front of him. Seeing like the anime just really sold it at that point. Like seeing Yuji just wail on Mahito from that point on. Like not even being impaled through the fucking chest stopped him from headbutting the shit out of Mahito in that moment. And I was just like, I was looking at this, and this wasn't a fight between good and evil. This was just a fight between two beings trying to use all their power to murder each other. And that just made it all the more brutal and intense. And seeing Nanami show up at the last minute to save him, that was just like, yes!
Yes.
The fucking
He's
team
not
up
doing
right
some
there.
serious.
Yeah.
That's enough.
But then it got immediately third again when Mahito brought out the kids. Fucking kids. And forced you to actually kill them for the first time. Children of all people. Of course, the beatdown that Mahito suffered at the hands of Nanami and Yuji was satisfying you in that moment. We see Yuji and Nanami work together to literally beat the shit out of Mahito over and over again, to where spit was just flying over his mouth and his eyes were blank. But then we see what makes Mahito so terrifying as a villain. He's young, he's curious, and he can grow.
Yeah.
His domain expansion. Art design. Off the shelf right there. All those fucking hands. And Nanami trapped in there summed it up perfectly. Shit. But it was so good when we think that Nanami is about to bite the dust, Yuji comes in and an unexpected player finishes the whole thing. Sukuna comes in and makes Mahito pay for his mistake, touching his soul, carves him up right then and there. And just when Yuji is about to land the finishing blow, the most frustrating thing about the fight comes in, just as Junpei's death, Mahito gets away.
Yeah.
He literally runs like a coward, like a Kaza.
Exactly, but the sad part is though, even though Mahito's running away, I can't say unlike Akaza, Mahito actually won this. He killed Junpei, he got more information on Yuji and Sukuna's relationship, and really the only thing he didn't get to do was kill more humans like he wanted to do to make Yuji even more pissed off.
Yeah.
So really, this was just a loss in entirety, and Yuji killed people for the first time, and he's just questioning himself. And this is one of the things that makes me love Jujutsu Kaisen so much. How, like, each moment like this really makes the characters reflect and think on themselves and their ideologies and who they are as people and how they can grow going forward. And Yuji at that point is like, I killed people, but I still have to keep going forward to try to give the people I can a proper death. But fuck me, does that fight really much Jujutsu Kaisen go. Which is why it's one of my favorites at the moment. It's my number 2 though, because there's one spot reserved for the king that I will get to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, man. Nate. Dude, what do you have after that?
Yeah. Well, what is it, Kevin?
I want to hug Trey for what he did. I also want to punch him in the fucking neck for that too. To continue.
All
Continue,
right.
Nate.
Anyways, I believe it's time to bring in the Fate franchise to this, because
Fate?
Yes.
all their fights are pretty good. I almost wanted to go with Gilgamesh versus Lancelot. That fight in Zero, that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But there is one fight that stood out to me. I'm talking about Chiron versus Achilles from Fate Apocrypha.
Oh my god.
Yes. I love that fight.
Mentor versus mentee.
Well, shit. Now I gotta watch Pakria.
Yes, you fucking do.
It's a really good.
It's one of the best Fate to stay series,
my
man.
favorite.
Easily one of my favorite hand-to-hand fights of all time in anime.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
And let me just say, the setting for that fight, they were fighting on top of a plane.
Yeah.
Actual plane.
A plane frozen in time.
Yeah, and you know how all right, we've seen a lot of Fate franchises use fights where they're using special powers and weapons. This fight doesn't use any of that. It was pure skill. It was just amazing. Plus, the setup for that fight was really good. Chiron, who was Achilles' teacher, who was always beating him. And even though they may be on opposite sides, they still respect one another. And they even give out like a respectful banter to each other before the fight actually begins. And seeing Achilles, who is known for having like full immunity all over his body except for his heel, getting beaten up by Chiron, it was just damn.
Listen, you don't get to be told that the teacher of heroes if you're gonna be a sloppy fighter.
Pretty much. And we also get to see like Achilles do everything he can to overcome his teacher to prove that he has gotten stronger. That's literally all about the fight is. It was not all about like, oh, it's like good versus evil. It's all about proving your worth. It was amazing. Even Chiron put it along the lines. He was even willing to risk his own life just to see how much his student had surpassed. And my god, when they went from plane to plane during that fight, oh my god, that was just insane. I was like legit worried on who's gonna fall off the plane, but no, they didn't. But when we get to like the final blow, oh man. The phrase, the teacher finally surpassed, the student finally surpassed the mentor. They definitely emphasize it.
Usually.
Even Achilles felt guilty for like killing his teacher, but he still respected him. And Chiron, he never got mad. He was proud of Achilles. He was proud of his own student finally surpassing him. It was just beautiful to see how much they emphasized that moment and how much they emphasized that own lesson and that own cliche. It was just amazing. Fate Apocrypha, they managed to pull off a lot of interesting things that the previous Fate series hasn't done, and this fight is definitely a great example of it. It was just mind-blowing. I almost wanted to put it for number one for how original and creative it was, but my number one, it just stood out for me, so that's all I can say. Overall, Chiron versus Achilles, great setup, great atmosphere and background, great hand-to-hand combat. That's why it's my number two.
Nice.
What
is your number two, though, Kev?
You already know what it is.
I know.
It's Deku versus... Oh, fuck. But yeah, so there's not much you can add about the fight. It was emotional. The setup with Sir Night-Eye getting stabbed, even before that, Mirio doing his best to fight overhaul. So Izuku had to fight for two of his mentors and Eri. So it was just great, the way he tried to keep up, even defying fate. And oh my god, can we just talk about how badass he looked when he was gonna punch Overhaul with Eri's hair behind him? He looked like a monster. It was a really great fight. I wanted to put, of course, Izuku, Shoto, and Tenya versus Stain, but Overhaul was just pushed Deku to the limit. I mean, he almost died after the fight because of Eri. So it was a really interesting fight to me. That's all I could say.
Oh, R.I.P. Night-Eye.
Oh
yeah, R.I.P. Night-Eye.
You'll be missed, Night-Eye.
Oh,
even though he only appeared for like 1 arc.
It's still awesome.
All right.
Wait, just like Junpei. Oh,
And Rengoku.
Yeah.
Son of a. Okay, now I just got depressed. All right, let's go.
All right, we're going off to our honorable mentions to see which fights didn't make the cut but are still memorable to our rights. So mine's kicking it off with Kirito versus Death Gun SAO 2.
Kirito versus Death Gun SAO 2.
The second fight between Thorfinn and Thorkel from Vinland Saga.
James Ironwood versus Arthur Watts from Ruby.
Wild Tiger versus Barnaby Brooks Jr., Tiger and Bunny.
Spike Spiegel versus Vicious, Cowboy Bebop.
Spike Spiegel versus Vicious from Cowboy Bebop.
Eren versus Annie 1, Attack on Titan.
Shiro Emiya versus Archer, Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works.
Izuku, Shoto, and Tenya versus Stain, My Hero Academia.
Claudia Bruford versus Odin, Warlords of Sigdrifa.
Oma versus Accelerator, a certain magical index.
Toma Kamijo versus Accelerator, a certain scientific railgun.
Joe versus Yuri, Megalobox.
Natsu Dragneel versus Jackal, Fairy Tail.
Gilgamesh versus Lancelot, Fate Zero.
Ainzul Gon versus Clementine, Overall.
Yusuke versus Toguro, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Juggernaut versus Orochi, Fire Force Season 2.
The second fight between Black Star and Tsubaki versus Mifune.
Soma versus Akira versus Ryo, Fu Wars.
Tanjiro and Nezuko versus Rui, Demon Slayer.
Tanjiro and Nezuko versus Rui, Demon Slayer.
Satoru Gojo versus Rima Sukuna, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Saber versus Assassin, Fate Stay Night.
Atsushi Nakajima versus Ryunosuke Octagawa, Bungo Stray Dogs.
Monkey D. Luffy versus Rob Lucci from One Piece.
Natsu Dragneel versus Gajio Red Fox, Fairy Tail.
Jin Mori versus Gennaro, God of High School.
Misaka versus Meltdown, a certain scientific railgun.
Ichigo Kurosaki versus Byakuya Kuchiki from Bleach.
Gohan versus Cell from Dragon Ball Z.
Gohan versus Cell, Dragon Ball Z.
Ichigo Kurosaki versus Grimjoe Jax, Bleach.
Anos Voltigode versus Avos Voltigon, Misfit of Demon King Academy.
Gridman versus Alexis, SSSS Gridman.
Saitama versus Boros, One Punch Man.
Greedling and L'Enfant versus Gluttony.
Gogeta versus Broly, Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Rengoku versus Upper 3, Demon Slayer Mugen Train.
Elfman versus Bacchus, Fairy Tail.
Alucard, aka Dracula versus Alexander Anderson.
Yame Sugihiro versus Petrie from Black Clover.
War Greymon and Metal Garurumon versus Dioboromon, Digimon the movie.
War Greymon and Metal Gurumon versus Dio Boromon, Digimon the movie. All Might versus All for One, My Hero Academia.
Yang versus Mercury, Ruby.
Shinra Kusakabe versus Chiron, Fire Force.
Maki Zenin versus Mai Zenin from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Maple versus Pain, Bofuri.
Yami versus Poultry, Black Clover.
Eren Yeager versus Annie Leonhardt, their final fight, Attack on Titan.
Everyone versus Zagrid, Black Clover.
Rimuru versus the Orc Lord. That time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Gene Starwind versus Twilight Suzuka, Outlaw Star.
The second fight between Ryuko Matoi versus Satsuki Kiryuin, Kill la Kill.
Kenshin Himura versus Makoto Shishio, Rurouni Kenshin.
Urza versus Kagura versus Minerva, Fairy Tail.
Jotaro Kujo versus Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Jotaro Kujo versus Dio Brando. Izuku Midoriya versus Shoto Todoroki, My Hero Academia.
Goku versus Frieza, Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, now I'm gonna be honest. Brandon. I thought that would actually be your number one.
No, you'll see, because we are going on to the best fight of anime.
It's our main event, folks. It's for all the gold. What's your number one?
For my number one, it is not 1 versus 1, not 2v1, 3 versus 1.
No way.
with the
Wait.
stakes of the universe for it.
Wait.
Goku, Frieza, and Android 17 versus Jiren, Dragon Ball Super.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, this was Dragon Ball Super making a callback to Dragon Ball Z. One of my childhood and favorite shonens back in the day. With both two people you do not even believe you could see them team up. Goku and Frieza fighting together. Even Vegeta was shocked about this.
Don't they hate each other?
Oh my
They
god,
tried
dude,
to kill each other.
they kill each other
That
multiple
doesn't even
times.
describe
Even when
it.
they're
Vegeta
killing the
killed, I
same
mean,
team.
Frieza killed Krillin for crying out loud.
Yeah. But it's just when the animation in that last episode. Why wasn't that the entire series? Because my god, it was so good. Just when the fight starts, Jiren is just standing there smiling and he's having fun, but he's ready for the final fight. And Goku and Frieza charge at him. And the classic Dragon Ball Z fight song that they played in the Frieza arc is in use here. Yes, this is fan service at its best. And plus, Frieza acknowledged Goku. He called him a Saiyan, but all the time he would just call him a monkey. He acknowledged him because he showed respect at that moment. But I just cannot believe that it took three people who are basically at their fucking limits. Goku is literally almost being crippled after using Ultra Instinct. Frieza lost his golden form. Android 17, even though he has the Infinite Engine, he was running on fumes after self-destructing. Jiren is a monster of an opponent to fight. He was basically made for them to try and surpass. Even if they failed, they know they gave it their all. And it was just so cool to see Goku and Frieza charge at Jiren, and they let out that iconic looking shot, the two of them screaming to the heavens, but it's basically like a phoenix rising, the way their auras blended together.
What I love about that fight is the fact that Goku was in regular Super Saiyan form, while Frieza is like in the final form of his. A callback to their final fight.
Goku was like, he was barely going Super Saiyan. Goku was barely going. Oh my god, this fight is what I loved about Dragon Ball back in the day, and I was so happy they made a comeback to it. But who'd have thunk that Android 17 would win? Who'd have thunk that?
I'm glad they changed it up, though. I'm glad.
I mean, at first I was really I literally thought it was gonna be Gohan winning the tournament, but no, he lost to Bugs Bunny.
Nope, it's the park
Purple
ranger.
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah. But this fight is, like I said, it's what I love about the original Dragon Ball series and why I think they brought it up to full scale when they announced Dragon Ball Super Broly. I cannot wait for the new movie because we are getting a new movie in Dragon Ball Super next year. I don't know who's going to be, but I'm banking odds because they said a character is making a comeback. It may not be Broly because they have plans for him and Frieza in a future series. I'm hoping it's going to be Cooler.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's him.
Oh, God.
I would love to see Cooler in an updated reboot version. Please, Toriyama, give it to me. That's my number one from Dragon Ball Super.
Respect, brother. Respect.
Alrighty, DX, it's you.
What was your number one?
Ding, ding, ding.
Just because you're a devil doesn't automatically make you a bad guy.
You cocksucker.
Wait,
Wait, no.
The number one is Asta versus Libe from Black Clover.
Oh,
The series finale.
you what? For now, Trey. For now.
I mean,
Oh, yes.
For now, it's coming back.
or it's coming back in a big way, be it movie or show. Okay. Yeah, I mean, first of all, this is something that has been a mystery the entire show. for almost 200 episodes, we've wondered who the devil is inside Austin's grimoire and what does he want. And this fight, it gave us so much information. I mean, it pretty much told us everything we wanted to know. His backstory, it was heartbreaking.
Yep.
I mean, first fuck you, Lucerno. Oh, how
Oh, yeah.
dare you? And I mean, he's taken control of Asta's grimoire. He's got 3 of his kick-ass swords on him, and he's controlling them telepathically. Asta only has Yami's katana, and without the anti-magic, that's literally all it is. It's just a katana. But I mean, Asta applies everything he's learned throughout the series. Every lesson he's picked up from enemies and friends and allies. And he uses it. Oh, it's so beautiful. And I mean, in a weird way, this is kind of like a sibling fight because technically they both share the same mother.
Yeah, they're like brother and sister. I meant brothers.
I mean, if you think about it, they're basically half brothers, step brothers.
They're like twins.
They even look alike. I'm pretty sure that's not a coincidence.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, there was just so much emotion behind this fight. So much weight. I mean, Austin could have died if this ritual failed. Let's be honest. He would have ended up a skull on the wall. This is why I love anime. The emotion behind fights. The powers are unique. Everybody has cool moments to shine. And my God, the final attack. The OG song starts playing. And you know it's going to be good when that happens. That is number one. Just a great way to end the series for now. We know it's coming back. We know it's getting a movie. And I cannot wait. Be it show, movie, OVA, I don't give a shit. I will watch it.
Hell yeah.
That is my number one.
Yes.
All right, let me top this with a fight from what I see personally as the best shonen anime of this up to now, the best shonen anime of all time, Hunter x Hunter.
Oh my God.
Specifically, Chairman Isaac Netero versus Meruem.
Oh.
Son of a gun.
We all know this fight.
Well,
Yes.
yes. Well, I don't know about Nicholas, but
EDA?
you.
EDA?
No, he doesn't.
Fuck. If you plan on getting the
go.
Hunter anytime, just
No, he's not
don't
gonna
wait
go.
for this because I'm gonna go balls deep into this.
I don't care about spoilers. Just go.
All right. First off, let's just say that these two characters, I did not expect this fight, honestly. Like, I was expecting Gon and Meruem, but seeing the chairman of the Hunter organization, the strongest human on the planet, go up against the Chimera Ant King Meruem, I should have seen it coming. Because the way it starts off is the most anticlimactic way possible. How many fights can you say where the main villain asks one of the protagonists, sit down and let's talk this out? Because Meruem, at this point in his life, he has come to love a human child and has realized that he can be more than, because he's come to realize that humans are cruel to each other, that you have criminals and dictators living in luxury while kind people have to work their entire lives for merely a fraction of the riches they have. While in his vision, humans may be treated as cattle, they will be equal, and the people that deserve it, like Komugi, will have a chance to actually live a life. But Netero, someone who has resolved himself to fight for humanity, cannot let this happen. Humans have to stay at the top of the food chain. So Netero motivates Meruem to fight with a wager. Meruem at this point doesn't know his own name. So he says, defeat me and I'll tell you it. And Meruem's like, all right, let's do this. And of course, Netero responds with summoning a giant freaking golden Buddha statue and slamming a giant hand into him so hard it craters the ground and proceeding to bombard him with multiple palm strikes faster than the speed of sound into the very depths of the earth.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
Asura's level of awesomeness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. And what follows is just godlike animation. Like seeing Netero, just someone who's valued strength, who's been waiting for a worthy opponent his entire life, show that heart symbol on his chest. Thank you for giving me this. No, thank you for giving us an awesome fight. Seeing Meruem just literally bounce off the freaking craters and canyons of that giant cave, trying to overcome that giant statue, looking like they're literally flying through the universe itself with godlike music playing in the background. Orchestra fuckers, literal orchestral music playing in the background. And just when things are hype, Netero loses a leg. Meruem found a way to get through, but Meruem found a way to get through. But Netero doesn't quit. He still keeps fighting. But then he loses an arm. But then, Zero Hand. He fires a DBZ level scale giant white laser beam straight at Meruem. But all it does is manage to give him a few mild bruises and scratches. And while Netero is nothing but a shriveled husk, Meruem thinks he's won. Netero tells him his name, but he tells him that no one else is crueler than humanity. Which is true, because Netero implanted a fucking nuke in his own chest. And Netero stabs himself in the heart and takes himself out with Meruem, nearly killing him. All that's left of Meruem is a burnt, shriveled husk. It is just a perfect fight. I can't describe it as anything but. Literally, like, I wasn't expecting this at all from Hunter x Hunter. Because up to this point, Hunter x Hunter has been pretty grounded with their fights. Like, yeah, they were awesome, but they've never been to like freaking One Punch Man or Dragon Ball levels of this up until now. And seeing the absolute potential of Nen at its highest in the hands of the strongest monster and the strongest human on the planet. Holy fucking hell. I hate that Hunter x Hunter is still on hiatus with its manga, because I want that next season. I mean, for fuck's sake, we get Hisoka Grossa's Crollo in the manga, for fuck's sake. We need that next season. But regardless, this is still honestly, my opinion, the greatest anime fight I have ever seen. Yet to be topped.
Damn.
I could taste a little salt coming from Trey from that.
There's no salt at all. Just
No,
pure admiration for Hunter x Hunter.
no. In the regards to the manga, I could just taste the salt from you waiting.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard it's due to Togashi's health, but still, I'm like, fuck me, man. Is this series ever gonna get a conclusion?
Yeah,
Alright.
it's kind of true, because that's also like what happened with why we haven't gotten say, for example, High School of the Dead season 2, because the manga creator passed away, so they put it on, they canceled it.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead, Nate. Yeah, just cheer us up.
Yes.
Okay, number one. This may be like one of the more overrated fights, but it's overrated for a reason, because it's that epic. Brandon mentioned it earlier, so I'm gonna bring it back. Scar versus Wrath from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yes.
Wow. The setup for that fight, it was just beautiful. Scar lost a lot of his people during that slaughter. And when he found out, it was like, not, he fell under the impression that it was like from the military, but no, it was by the homunculus. So it was very ironic that he has to face the person who is both from the military and is also a homunculus. It's also very ironic. And man, the reason for that fight. Two nameless men fighting to the death. It is just poetic at its finest. Because they have no names, no history, no origins whatsoever. All they have is rage building up inside of them. waiting to be unleashed. Because no disrespect to the other fights with Raph involving them. They were all pretty good, but this one elevated it to the max. And it was just like amazing seeing Scar and Raph dealing blows to each other one by one, showing that they're not hesitant to kill each other. They were willing to go to that length. And I had to admit, I was surprised that Scar, of all people, used alchemy for the fight, because we all seen Raph use destroying stuff for alchemy, and now he's using creation to help out with the fight. He literally had to drop his beliefs just to stop the man who ruined his life. It was just amazing to see how far Scar has come.
It's also pretty emotional in that regard too, because he's adopting his own brother's principles and beliefs in that fight as well.
Yeah, that was also amazing. And also, even though Scar was able to land the finishing blow, Rav was trying to take him down with him when he grabbed the chip sword and stabbed it through Scar's chest. Oh, that was just lethal. It can show how lethal a person can be even without arms.
Yeah.
And even though the fight ended peacefully, Raph isn't mad about it. He had no regret about the life that he had. He enjoyed every minute of it, and he was able to die peacefully for it. It was, even I'll admit, I did get choked up for a minute.
Even while giving the verbal middle finger to Landfon too. I'll add it.
Pretty much.
Well, I guess he has to take one more jab at it. But, oh my god, major props to James Michael Tatum for the performance, and yeah, rest in peace, Ed Baylock. Oh.
Yeah.
That was definitely his best performance. Because overall, Raph versus Scar, it may be a popular fight, but it's popular for a reason. Intense, beautiful, visually impressive, and just overall just intense and kind of gory a bit. That's why I had to hold it in high regard. That's why I love Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and that's why I had to put this fight at number 1.
Amen.
Respect.
Man.
Respect.
Amen.
Respect.
Alrighty, Kiv. What is your final fight?
We talked about Black Bulls versus Veto. We talked about everyone versus Zagrid. But to me, one of the best fights happened during the recent arc for Black Clover in the anime. Asta and Yami versus Dante.
Oh my god.
Yes, this fight just... First of all, fuck Dante. I'm sorry, I just fucking hate him. He's so annoying.
The Dark Triads are just hateable in their own ways. But
Well, I kind of enjoy Zeno the most, but just Dante, he's so overpowered. Even with his anti-magic, Asta couldn't beat him, even in his rage state. And then when Yami came in and started fighting him, you thought, oh, we're gonna win. No, Dante he made Yami bleed. You just see how he's holding Yami back. Even with his new techniques, Yami can barely do anything. So he tells him, are you gonna sit around? I need your help, Asta. He finally calls Asta by his name. He doesn't say kid or idiot or anything. He calls him by his name. And that was just master and student teaming up. Serious, that was just amazing. Asta worked on defense, Yami worked on offense. I'm just this is great. Even with his body magic, Dante was still on the defensive. But what sold this fight was when Asta sold his arm for more power. And then in the last second, when he's about to lose it, Yami throws his katana as a sign of passing the torch. I was just yes. And slowly, Asta gripping it's turning into anti-magic, and him slicing that fucker. It was just a great way to end the Black Clover anime for now. I know, the Libe fight was emotional, but this was satisfying. Just seeing these two characters, buff-ass characters, let's not deny that, just work together and just win.
Asta doesn't grow tall, he grows wide.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's swole.
And Yami got kidnapped at the end of it.
I know, I was gonna get to that, but another fun thing, fans animated this whole episode, and I love that. Like, people who love Black Clover came to Studio Period and animated this. It was just great.
The animation even looks great too. It was a major improvement.
Well, no kidding, Nate. I told you. But anyway, yeah, just the fight was great. The ending was actually a good cliffhanger. I want to continue the Black Clover story. I'm still gonna keep reading the manga because I love this series. Fuck everyone who hated it before. To be fair, I did kind of feel skeptical, but still, I'm glad it grew. So yeah, that's my number one.
I'm pretty sure all of us were skeptical about it at first.
Oh yeah, huge.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, guys. There we go. The fight is over.
Oh, who won?
I did.
Me.
Oh, fuck you. No,
we
I
had a
won.
Netero,
Oh,
Hunter, Hunter, right
Maybe
here.
someone in the comments can figure it out.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm pretty sure the comments can tell us who was the actual winner in this fight. But my God, guys,
Put your arm down, Nicholas.
This is probably the most exciting and hypest video we've ever done.
Oh yeah.
Well, welcome back to season 2 of Anime Lists.
Way to start off with a bang.
Hugely.
Ah.
So the next 3 videos I shall announce as of right now that are scheduled. Next week is, of course, we're actually, since we see a lot more anime actually during our time away, we will be doing another part 3 of anime openings. But the one after that, we're gonna go back, taking a little break from anime. We're gonna do some of our top 10 favorite movies of all time. Those don't have to be anime. They don't have to. I was laying that out there. But the one after that, before some of us go on a little trip to Orlando, we're going to give you guys what we promised. Anime Wars Part 2.
Oh no.
Hopefully everyone could be there. Damn, the first part was just crazy.
Oh my God. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that one.
It's gonna be a pure regret. I can just tell right now.
Oh my gosh. But this was what we have for right now, and I'm so glad, and we're gonna go back to what started off this whole thing for us. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment below, like what were your favorite anime fights growing up, and what is some of the ones you remember still today. Remember to smash the like button in the face, hit it, smash it like the bastards you are. Join us here in the shadows, and be sure to click on the notification bell to make sure that you don't lose sight of what's happening out in the shadows. I'm the Dark Viewer. We are the guys here waiting for you in the shadows, and we shall see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
ついてく